plan to end the Iran conflict. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's being pushed by another country trying to mediate.
A new report today in Reuters says a framework to end hostilities has been put together by Pakistan and exchanged with Iran and the U.S. overnight, outlining a two-tier approach with an immediate ceasefire followed by a comprehensive agreement. Despite these diplomatic conversations, U.S. and Israeli planes continue to hammer the Iranian regime.
And yet another senior Iranian leader's been killed, the intelligence chief for Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv.
Yesterday, I spoke with President Trump, and he said if a deal does not happen this week, quote, you're going to see bridges and power plants dropping all over their country. If they don't make a deal and fast, I'm considering blowing everything up and taking over the oil.
An Iranian official tells Reuters they won't reopen the Strait of Hormuz in a temporary ceasefire. President Trump, in a social media post with expletives, warned yesterday Iranians would be living in hell if the strait isn't open for oil and other shipping by tomorrow night. Oil prices have been down this morning. And the war in Ukraine rages on. A Russian drone attack in Odessa has left 2 women and a toddler dead. There are 11 others injured as Ukraine also overnight used drones to target Russian oil facilities. It is a big day for the Artemis 2 moon mission, doing a fly around the far side of the moon. But as Fox's Jonathan Seri reports from the Johnson Space Center in Houston, the 4 astronauts on board are still dealing with a bathroom problem.
Without changing course, the crew turned their Orion spacecraft to expose an external vent nozzle to the sun in an effort to melt what engineers believe is frozen urine, blocking the release of wastewater. The crew's limited use of the zero-gravity toilet has been a popular topic on social media.
It's forced the astronauts to use a backup plan of waste collection bags. America's listening to Fox.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los on Extra 106.3. This is the Morning Extra. We're on the air until 10. If you'd like to hang around for 4 hours or so, we'd appreciate it.
We won't fight you.
No, absolutely. We're lovers, not fighters.
That's right.
That's on that. That's our motto on this show.
Like if you put us on and you go on a date,
dude,
and you don't close the deal, that's not our fault.
I mean, it'd be hard for you not to.
We set the tone.
6 a.m. date?
Yes.
You never
It'd be
know.
hard not to score on that day, too.
That's right. You pull us up on the app and you put us on.
She's like, ooh.
It's like, who are these 2 guys? And you're like, yeah.
Hey, girl.
These are my boys.
How you been? What you been up to? Gosh, what a heck of a weekend.
You 2 want to join the 4-hour club?
That's right. Some people downgrade to the Mile High Club.
The 4-hour club is where it's at.
Way better. So much better. And they have fanny packs if they ever pick them up.
Oh, gotta make this happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Now that I'm getting some time back in my life.
I know. Yeah.
Well, we'll reach out to Stephanie and we're gonna make this work.
Dude, what a dadgum weekend for the Medina family.
For this country, for the Medina family, for holiday season.
Yeah, for me not doing anything except, well, I say, went to service Friday night and then went to sunrise service yesterday. Magnificent weekend. Saturday, didn't do much of nothing. Went and had barbecue. We just ordered a bunch of barbecue and went and saw the in-laws, and all of my wife's sisters and family came. It was awesome. It was a great weekend to not really do anything, and it was a great laid back weekend. However, the man to my left, he owns the city of Atlanta. He owns the George World Congress Center. This dude they're actually going to rebrand Big South, the volleyball tournament, to the Medina Family Big South Volleyball Tournament.
Invitational.
That's right. And if you don't get an invite, get on.
Younger daughter last week, they went undefeated. They won Big South, and we thought, all right, that's the height of it.
Won't get no better than that.
Man, the older girls play it out of their mind. They've been playing that way for about a month, and they finished 10-0, didn't drop a set.
Freaking 10-0,
won the whole thing.
dude.
And
10-0.
The final team we played, the final boss level, was IMG Academy.
Oh, out of Orlando?
Who started, what was it, Bradenton now?
Bradenton, yeah.
And so they started a volleyball program several years ago. Well, now they've got a full roster of girls. And if you're not familiar with IMG, like a lot of people have heard about the football team.
Sure.
It is like Chinese-style training.
No, it is for all sports.
You are in school to go to private school.
Yes, sort of. You're
and basically train in your discipline and just work at that like it's college.
Yeah.
It costs between $70,000 and $90,000 per player.
Yeah.
And that's who we saw in the final. Both of us undefeated. And we took them down.
Buddy.
So when you start thinking about what we were going up against, and it's the $90,000 per player team, we got them.
How many kids on the roster out of IMG Academy, you suppose?
I think 13 on that one.
90 times.
Start doing the math on what that team costs to put together between nutrition and boarding and school and
about
our little old group of girls.
About 1.1.
Yeah. Versus what we do.
Yeah.
And we took them down in 2. It was awesome. So, great weekend, a lot of fun. And then,
so cool.
And then on the backdrop of Easter, and then what was going on in this country, what was playing out in it was almost like we were waiting on bits and pieces from the day we find out we have 2 Americans shot down over Iran. And now the drama's playing out. Over social media.
Without a doubt. Let's get to the first thing to know this morning. We can discuss it there.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Xtra, the Morning Xtra. Tugs Los,
whoa.
Deep in the story.
So I saw it, wrote down. The first time I'd seen it written down, and give Bryce credit for it. I can't figure out where I saw it that he had written it down, but he called it the Easter Miracle, and that's exactly what it was. I was like, wow, that's exactly right. It was the Easter Miracle because it started on Good Friday, and we had an F-15 shot down. Pilot was rescued almost right away. They were able to him, but that the weapons officer that is the backseater on an F-15, he was lost. I mean, he's deep in enemy territory, and things look really, really dire. And President Trump says, we're going to get him.
To now start the movie, all right, the movie as you're getting to the ground. And to hear, and this was our own intelligence that we're talking about this was going through social media, that you had the Iranian government, or at least what was in the area, had already started to put a bounty.
$60,000, which is like 10 times more than the normal Iranian makes.
For locals.
Yeah. On TV, radio, everywhere.
To bring this person back, specifically what I think they wanted, and this echoes of Mogadishu back in the 90s. The Iranians looked at it as, can we parade an American body around on television? And so that's what you're up against. Can you get to this officer, save him from now all hell coming down on him? Not just Iranian soldiers, but like locals.
Yeah.
Like locals with guns.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and there's our reports out there, and I want to believe, I don't know if I should or not, I don't know, what to make of it, but that many of the locals were not participating. They're like, no, we're not. We don't support this regime. We've lived under this hell. We're not going to help them whatsoever, which is amazing if that's the case. And I don't know that it is. I saw a lot that would indicate that it might be, but I'm not willing to go on record and say because I don't know. But the story behind this is epic.
It's incredible.
It's epic. The So you have this colonel with either a broken ankle or a severely sprained ankle. He's in the mountainous areas of southern Iran. A guy that is evading as best he can, kind of hobbled at the same time. The only thing he has is a beacon and the message that he sent back. And at that point, when he first sent the message from the beacon that just said, God is good, they weren't sure if it was him or the Iranians going, God is good. We've got this guy and we're about to parade him. We didn't know. They reach out to his family, the colonel's family, and they're like, what do you make of this message? And they're like, that's what he would say because he survived.
Yeah,
God
but
is good.
he's gotten to the ground and now it's time to do this. And the training involved when you see, because I know there's every now and then you'll read up on what our airmen are basically taught to do in a hostile situation where it's now full on
evade.
Why do you do this training out in the woods?
Evade.
Just in case something crazy one time in your career. One in a million that this happens to somebody.
Yeah.
And he's out there trying to avoid all, a whole world of hell raining down on him to make himself available for rescue.
Yeah. Extraordinary story. The CIA got involved. It's fascinating to see what the CIA did. They launched a campaign of a misleading campaign to the Iranians, and the CIA was sending out messages to the Iranians, through channels that they knew that the Iranians would be monitoring, and they set up this fake rescue. They thought that the Americans were taking this guy. We had already gotten him, and we were taking him down out of the country to a naval vessel and out to sea to safety. Was not the case whatsoever. We were actually building a freaking airport.
And in the meantime, as this story continues to go, as we have gotten a better idea as to where he's at, where he's held up, all right, now you start to have the American military in all of its might bombing roads to keep a perimeter around this person. As you're saying, we're building a temporary airbase,
right, yep.
And then making sure to try and create some sort of security in the area where this airman is down.
Dude, it's incredible. It just shows the superiority of the United States military, and I have to think the Iranians are feeling pretty low as far as the people of the IRGC, the people that are effectively running the country, the military arm of what ran the country before every bit of the leadership's dead. There's more dead leaders. We'll get to that a little bit later. But they have to think, wow, we offered a $60,000 bounty on TV and radio and nobody folded. No, and the Americans made this incredible escape and we got nothing.
Well, consider this, and why I say I go back to Mogadishu in the 90s. When we were there and you had dead Americans that were paraded on CNN, that then caused the Clinton administration to decide, we're pulling out of here. Mm-hmm. We're leaving. Mm-hmm. Now, that inspired, and it's in all of his information, it's part of his story, that inspired Osama bin Laden. Because he realized, hey, America's a paper tiger. If you show dead Americans on TV, if you pop them in the mouth, you're not talking about having to kill 100 Americans. You're not talking about having to kill 1,000 American soldiers. You parade a couple of them on TV, they'll leave. And so I firmly believe with that lesson, that was what the goal, that whatever the remaining Iranian power is there, that's what they were after this weekend.
Of course it was. Yeah, without a doubt. Let's see if we can fix this. Let's see if we can win the war of words.
Let's use their American media
against them.
Which, that's another portion of this. The amount of, especially when it came to those people, social media influencers, whatever you want to refer to them as. If you weren't certain these people have a bend that is entirely, and let me take a step back here. From the start of this conflict, what did I say? I don't care if you're on the other end of the aisle of me. If we can both not agree that you want American soldiers to be successful and to come home safely, we have a problem with one another.
Yeah.
That's where you saw the divergent view of more dead Americans is bad for Trump. That's what they're rooting for. That part was crazy to watch. It was always underneath the surface with so many of the comments.
And there was even a little bit of that, well, why would they waste all this effort and all this manpower and all these planes and all these aircraft?
For one person.
For one dude. For one guy. That made me sick, dude.
Yeah, because that's what we do.
The military motto is leave no man behind. And they refused to. This dude was being pursued and climbed 7,000 feet up the side of a mountain to stay in a cave for probably, at least 36 hours, if not more. And you want to ask, why are we doing this for one guy? Why wouldn't we do this for one guy?
One of the smartest comments I saw, and it was somebody who was ex-military. I'm sorry I don't have the name off the top of my head. I was going through this in a convention center the entire afternoon. Talked about the amount of planes that were used and pointed out, hey, this plane cost $1.5 million. This plane cost $1.8 million. Not leaving somebody behind is 200 years in the making.
That's right.
That is the way that this country operates. That is how these men and women take care of one another. And so I don't care about the cost. You know, this is a media. These are these influencers that had no problem with us leaving everything we possibly could behind in Afghanistan, including people, including assets, including Americans, and yet now they're on the other side of it, rooting for a dead American. How wild is that?
That's just disappointing.
It's just what it is. I told you, my baseline is
it's disappointing.
We can be on opposite sides of the aisle. We should be rooting for the same thing.
Yeah, but that's not the case, and unfortunately with many. And you've probably seen the two C-130 aircraft, their nose gear, the landing gear on the front of the C-130s, two of them, get stuck in the dirt on that landing strip. What did they do? They didn't just leave it behind. They destroyed it. That's exactly what you would expect special operators to do. That's exactly what you expect our military to do. Well, a military under a solid command.
Which, there was another aspect of that. The amount of, and this goes in, basically Saturday night, as this operation is ongoing, and the left launches a campaign to try and act like Donald Trump isn't calling the shots on this.
Mm-hmm.
Which then you then have all the reports. No, listen, he's in the Oval Office. He's monitoring this whole situation. He is part of it. They were trying to make it out like he was at a hospital.
Yeah.
It was a coordinated campaign. It wasn't like one person.
Yeah. But that seems to be, isn't that what they always do, right? They always have their talking points. They always have their message that they run with. We have to get them. That's what the president said. We have to get them, and that's exactly right. We did. First time in 20 years that a U.S. aircraft had been lost over enemy territory. And here's the other thing. When you think about all the things that have been going on, day 38 of this war, I think, day 38, we've lost, I think, 10 aircraft in total. And if you go back to Iraq, maybe, 30 years ago or so, in that same amount of time, Los, we lost about 75 aircraft. That tells you the improvements that we've made in our military and our ability, our technology, everything that goes along with it. In the same amount of time, then you lose 75 aircraft. Now you've lost 10. The fact that happens is it should knock your cap off your head when you think about the ability of the United States military and what they're able to do and how quickly and just precisely they're able to do it.
So I want to go back to the undermining aspect
of
this operation, because I have them up in front of me. These are all the posts.
Yeah.
It's the typical ones like Brooklyn Dad.
Yeah.
Folks are saying Trump is currently at Walter Reed Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Art Candy, a Marine standing at a door proves nothing. Proof of life.
Yeah.
Both the little Krasenstein midgets.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them, when they wanted this coordinated effort so that no one could give this administration credit for what was possibly good. We didn't even know yet that this particular person was safe and out of Iran. And yet that's the campaign they launched. It's diabolical.
Seems about fitting, though. Diabolical, yes, but about fitting, too. 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. When we come back, let's talk about that American pride some more. Artemis 2, it's brought back American pride. And then from this weekend, goodness gracious, that just adds to it next on Extra.
Morning Xtra has you covered until 10 a.m. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, and Buck Sexton at noon, and the Kimmer Show taking over at 3, only on Extra 106.3.
After a nice week last week, super warm, we got into the low 80s. Well, we're going the other direction again. It's like false spring was last week. I mean, today's high is only 67, and I think it's even a little cooler tomorrow. But for the next few days, it's going to be cooler than it has been. So you're going back and forth, right? You turn it on the AC, then you turn it over the heat, then you turn it on the AC, then you turn it on the heat. That is taxing for a system. So what do? You get that system maintained. What do you mean, Tug? Maintain. Preventable emergencies. You don't have to because they're expensive. Most system failures are preventable. System works the hardest, going back and forth. One day the heat's on, one day the air's on. Maintenance extends the life of your HVAC system. Small issues turn into big issues if you don't do it. And those safety inspections that go along with it, that just ensures that your home is safe and the people that live in your home, the people you love, your family, that they're safe too. So get a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Chuck and his team happy to come out to your house twice a year, do that maintenance, tell you about the little things that need to be done, give you a chance to do those. That way, it doesn't turn into something really big. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. Call them at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
Retirement should feel exciting, not stressful. But if you're close to retirement or already there, have you ever stopped to ask, do I really understand the risks to my plan? Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Things like market swings, higher taxes, inflation, healthcare costs, even living longer than expected can slowly chip away at your savings if you're not prepared. And even solid plans can have blind spots. That's why we offer a retirement risk analysis. It looks at how your investments, income, and taxes could hold up in real-life situations, not just on paper. It helps answer the big questions. What happens if the market drops? And will your money last as long as you do? If you're within 10 years of retirement or already retired, give us a call, 678-990-8500, or visit nicholaswealth.com to schedule a complimentary retirement risk analysis. Nicholas Wealth Management, helping you retire with clarity, confidence, and control.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
Pay to play, sweetheart deals, government land grabs, and a rigged gambling law. Corrupt career politician Burt Jones made a fortune in public office. But it gets worse. Now Jones is in the tank for illegal Chinese vapes. They're poisonous, they're addicting our kids, and President Trump issued a national order to ban them. But just like a career politician, Burt Jones ignored Trump's order and blocked legislation to stop the sale of illegal Chinese vape pens in Georgia. That's right, Jones ignored Trump and blocked the legislation to ban them right here in Georgia. Why? Because the Jones family is making big bucks selling the same deadly addictive Chinese vapes Trump banned in their gas stations. Corrupt career politician Burt Jones. He sold out Georgia for Chinese vapes.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, April 6th, and here are your headlines. New federal data shows the U.S. added 178,000 jobs in March, a sharp rebound after losing 133,000 jobs the month before in February. The unemployment rate also fell to 4.3%, with analysts saying the labor market remains stable despite global uncertainty. Spring break travel remains heavy across metro Atlanta following a busy weekend, with large crowds moving through Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Officials say tens of thousands of travelers pass through TSA checkpoints, and drivers are still seeing increased traffic as many are set to return home this upcoming weekend. And finally, in Forsyth County, commissioners are partially lifting a moratorium on new housing developments, allowing some rezoning applications to move forward. Leaders say the move comes after rapid growth, with more changes possible before the full ban expires next month. Today's weather is partly cloudy with a high of 71 and a low of 49. Your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. The pride about Artemis 2 has been a little surprising to me. I don't know why. I guess I should have expected it, but I haven't. I saw this really cool picture that a guy from the Washington Free Beacon posted, a guy named Peter Hassan, or Hassan, Hasson, and it's his little boy, looks to be about, 5, 6, 7 years old, standing in front of the TV in the living room of their house watching the Artemis launch. And his post is nothing like your first time monitoring the situation, like being aware that something was happening. And Bethany Stevens, who runs NASA, the spokesperson for NASA is a better description, quote tweeted that, and it said, "This is what it's all about, inspiring the next generation." I remember watching those space shuttle launches as a young child with such pride, thinking how cool it was, thinking that I wanted to be an astronaut one day. And that has been kind of gone for a while. I mean, there's, you have the SpaceX stuff, but I don't know how much kids are into that. I don't know how much they're watching it. Do they watch that at school? I don't know. Maybe they do. But there's something about it when it comes from Cape Canaveral and it's a big NASA production that gets the world's attention and gets attention here in the United States. I've been really proud of that.
It's not often, Tug. Because I was thinking about this actually a couple of days ago when I was sitting in our boss's office, because Scott McFarlane loves space stuff. So
Yeah.
he's had Artemis mission on the entire time.
Yep.
I was thinking to myself, isn't it strange that something that became old hat in the late 60s into the early 70s, where the reason why we even canceled the last 3 Apollo missions is because there wasn't enough public interest and we didn't want to spend the money on it any longer.
Yeah.
And something that we were doing basically 50 years ago, we're doing again, and it's captivated a good portion of the country to watch this stuff.
Maybe it's like everything in life, it's cyclical, things that are old or new again. I mean, Bryce loves disco music. We talked about that, it's how odd that is.
And I think space is super gay, but everybody else is like, man, space is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. But you like the things that potentially live out there, don't you?
I don't live there. Interdimensional beings,
Yes,
Tug. You stop that silliness.
That's right. See, I need to get I've got to get the language correct.
But there's something really cool about the idea of adventuring.
Yeah, it is,
to the moon or to Mars or to going out to these other worlds. Some of the imagery that we now have from our updated telescopes and our updated systems, incredible stuff. Incredible.
Yeah, and Artemis is going farther than anything by leaps and bounds. I think the number I saw, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong about it, the farthest we'd ever been was like 158 miles from the moon or something crazy like that. And now this one's going to be 25,000 miles. The numbers were just staggering to me. And I know I've got them jumbled up, so please don't throw stones at me. But you know what I mean? Like the fact that we're doing something we haven't done and we're doing it in fashion that we've never done it, and it's not even close. I think that's freaking amazing. And
I think it's cool.
Me too.
And largely, I would say this. I treat space like I treat a WNBA All-Star game.
What?
But this portion's pretty cool.
Okay, dude, I didn't see that one coming. That was that was way out. That was out of left field, man. I did not see that one coming at all.
Okay, Tug, do you want to go with me to go see the WNBA All-Star game?
No.
All right, that's how I feel mostly about space.
I know. Okay.
But if you told me something really cool was happening at it, like a pregame concert with one of our favorite bands, you'd be like, all right.
All right, man. All right. Maybe we'll leave after we'll leave after tip-off.
That's how I kind of treat Artemis.
That's funny. It's a great comparison.
It's a pretty cool thing happening. It's something I think is pretty lame typically, but it's really cool.
When you add in the fact that, that there's kind of a renewed space race too, the fact that the Chinese want to get there, they're marking 2030, and we want to get there 2027 or 2028, somewhere in there. And there's a specific crater on the South Pole that has, frozen water that we think we can use, obviously, for, water to drink and to use as a human being, but also they think they'll be able to use that for making rocket fuel that would eventually propel you to Mars.
Yep.
I mean, just that stuff. I mean, I have a hard time wrapping my head around it. I'm very stuck on Earth, and Los is easing me into the fact that there are people living under the ocean and that are, that there's a way to fold time so you can go time traveling and just all that stuff.
Well, just consider that, considering it is very difficult to get off our planet because the amount of gravity, gravity is a theory, but still, gravity does have a requirement where it takes a lot of energy to get off our planet. The idea is, what can we start building systems out in space or at the moon where you're taking a jump from one spot to the next, and by the time you launch to the next one, it doesn't require anywhere near the power in order to get to Mars if you're going from the moon or from somewhere in a little bit of deeper space.
There you go. Morning Extra on Extra 1063.
But still, WNBA All-Star game.
So I just saw on MS Now, because we keep that on here in the studio, and the New York Times had a distinctly different view of Artemis 2 than you and I in our discussion on the show. What? They literally, they were showing the headline and some of the text from an article from the New York Times on MS Now that talked about how, well, we've already been to the moon. There's nothing really exciting about this. It's hard to captivate people for doing something that you've already done. And I couldn't disagree more. I thought and obviously we had the discussion about the pride that we've had. We shared the kids that have watched it and were captivated and wanted to be all astronauts because of it. They stopped a college softball game down at the University of Florida. We've seen the videos from airlines, which you said was your favorite, how people were just, they were just overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, there it is. And they were filming it and posting it on social media. The fact that the New York Times is trying to poo-poo one of the most prideful American stories of this week is so on brand for them.
There's a real lack of imagination, because just as we were talking about earlier on in the show, if we're going to have the discussion of extended exploration into space, and I appreciate Russell hitting me up on X over some of this stuff, you want to do it from the moon.
Yeah.
Because the ability to launch from the moon is significantly easier than trying to launch anything from this particular planet. And so this is one of those next steps. This is one of those, if you're able to do this, then it opens up more of your imagination to the rest of the galaxy. And so I think I'm not surprised that there's just a lack of imagination there from the New York Times. But what can you suspect, and what would you expect from a paper that supported a man who basically crushed the entire space program in Barack Obama?
Yeah, of course. They have no love for it. And I love the way you said that, lack of imagination, because I want to play you a little kid. And maybe you've seen this on social media or not, but I think it's great. And I even used it on my country show because I think it summarized everything that we have said up until this point. And this was unprompted, his reaction. It's not like they led him to say this. Like, this was his genuine reaction. It was a kid out there watching the Artemis launch, and he says freaking. I want people to know because there was some sort of panic about what he says. But when you hear it, you'll know what I mean. Listen to this kid's answer about seeing Artemis launch.
Why do you want to be here? Why do you love space? Why do you love being a part of history?
We're going back to the moon, that's why.
So good. So stinking good. And there's been some confusion. And Bryce is saying he dropped the F-bomb. The one I saw from CNN that they posted, it said freaking. Now, maybe it's been manipulated with AI to have him drop the
his first one, because I saw a version that was actually somebody recording straight off the TV.
Yeah.
He said the F word.
He did? Okay. All right. So I stand corrected.
Yeah.
So maybe someone has corrected it because the one I used was freaking. So we're going back to the effing moon.
He went flat out. We're going back to the effing moon.
But that's the enthusiasm, man. And I know it's not good that kid at 11 is dropping the F-bomb on national television, but it does really capture the way people feel about it and the way that we've felt about it and the way we've described it. And the New York Times couldn't be worse doing what they always do. Like, oh, this is good for America. We hate it. I mean, that's the way it came off to me. And shame on them. I get tired of saying shame on them, but shame on them for that.
Yeah, you should be enjoying that. This is American ingenuity at its finest. Hopefully, we're sitting on about 1 million Chinese parts, but it took us to make it happen.
That's right, and hopefully we can. The next the next attempt with Artemis 3 is to actually sit down. The goal is to actually sit it down on the moon again. So, dude, it'll be awesome. The space race, what is old is new again. I think I used that example earlier. But
if not for those reflectors on the moon,
yeah, you would doubt. You have questions. So, can I take us in a completely unexpected direction? Right before we got back, there was an ad from Rick Jackson, and it stopped me in my tracks. I was like, "Wait a minute! I just want to play a piece. Do you have it, Bryce? I've had Bryce working as we've been talking about Artemis.
So, by the way, is this a new one? Because
yeah, it is.
We've had regular ones as part of the station.
Yeah, the first wave of them was his story. You know, my mom left me, dad left me, grew up in foster care. That, you know, which is an exceptional story. It is. His story is remarkable, and I think he's going to do pretty well. How does the primary end up? I don't know. But this particular new ad from Rick Jackson going after Burt Jones stood out to me because they were talking about him making money off of
vapes,
yes,
right?
Yes. Listen to this.
But it gets worse. Now Jones is in the tank for illegal Chinese vapes.
Listen to the music.
They're poisonous. They're addicting our kids. And President Trump issued a national order to ban them. But just like a
dude, and the music behind it, you know,
yes.
like that Middle Eastern music, it sounded just like the music I came into this morning that was on Mike McLean's computer.
It is traditional, like it's a hint of music of the Orient. Like here, we're just going to let you know that he's in line with the Chinese communists.
Listen, this is the music.
So I came in this morning, and the first thing I heard was this. Listen to this.
That's the same music in the Rick Jackson ad.
It's not the same, but
sounds the same.
Oh, what in the world is that?
What in the world is that?
It's Good Friday. What is this? I couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the Rick Jackson, I was like, wait a minute. Isn't that the same music? I feel like I just heard that early this morning. And then it goes on, and I don't know if Bryce has this part, but it goes on. And dude, it sounds like the song Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. Right before
it does,
which is the way that song starts, and then it goes, everybody was. But because as it was playing, I was like, oh my God, it's what it sounds like. I did it in his ear in the other studio, and he's rolling laughing because it matched up perfectly.
Stations.
See?
Corrupt.
Everybody wants Kung Fu Fight, dude. What in the who put that ad together for Rick Jackson?
Listen, you've tried to make a connection to your opponent, and you're trying to connect him to the Chinese communists.
That's illegal vapes.
If you're gonna do it,
what in the world is that?
I'm sorry to derail us completely, but all of that stuff.
By the way, Tug, those are two completely different places in the world between pieces of music. So
I know they are, but I mean,
I think you need to stay just domestic, brother.
I know, yeah, no doubt. I know. There's just a lot going on this morning that was unexpected, and when I walk in and I hear Mike McLean's computer going crazy with a Middle Eastern music, and then an ad with traditional, I guess, Chinese music.
Tug, I heard the same thing, and the first thing I perked up, I was like, "Is that?
Is that Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting?"
I was like, "Okay, we're into political season."
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Quickly, let's go through this.
Corrupt career.
Dude, that was amazing. He's selling illegal vapes to your children. Of all things.
Corrupt career politician Burt Jones.
Burt Jones, not only is he making money off gas station gambling machines, where my mama goes anytime she gets a chance. Dude, if she could find herself a gas station with a one-armed bandit in there, she is in, dude. She loves them. And I don't know how she figures out, like, I don't know if there's a code or a handshake or what it is that alerts her to this. But my whole life, Los, she's been able to go to a gas station and figure out which ones will pay out. And has found some. She's only lived out in Loganville for 3 years. She's already located some.
I got a neighbor friend who loves playing them too. I remember we played 18 holes of golf, then went over to the bar. They had a few, He comes walking back over. I was like, "Did you win?" He's like, "No, I lost like $120." I was like, "You've been gone for like 8 minutes.
How'd you lose so quickly?" And because sometimes
he goes, "I love gambling."
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know how did he find out which gas station to go to? Did he ever share that with you?
No, you have. Okay, so if you ever go to Good Old Days, if you first take a left, when you first come in the facility, they have. Now, listen, there's like some legitimate companies with legitimate machines. Then there's some that are like, in my opinion, really shady kind of gas station ones.
Yes, of course.
They actually have the legitimate ones with the nice seats and the nice company.
Yeah, because Mama goes to the shadiest ones. There's no telling. I've been scared. Like when we've driven by one of the gas stations that she's gone to and played the one-armed bandit where they pay out, and I'm telling you, like it makes me nervous that she goes there. That's how shady. When you say shady, you're exactly right. I mean, I was like, "Mama, you go there?"
Some of those gas station ones, I didn't know what they were until they started showing up. I was like, "What is okay?" And the weird part was some of the gas stations would have them like in a back room.
Yes, that's exactly right. And guess who goes back there? Mama.
There's Mama.
Mama's back there with all. They ain't no telling what kind of record these people have. The other people that are in there, and then. She, some of them they pay out in like lottery tickets or something. I know you think I'm making this up, but man, I would put my hand on the Bible. And she's been doing it. She's been doing this my whole life for as long as I can remember. Mama sometimes would leave church and go straight to the gambling machine at the Shady gas station in Dalton, Georgia, off Tibbs Bridge Road.
Love it.
Gerald's gas station. It's not there anymore. It's out of business, gone. That's the reason I'll throw that name out there. But it was Gerald's gas station. Off Tibbs Bridge Road. Mama would leave church after church and, we'd celebrate the Lord and then she would go gamble.
For illegal Chinese vapes.
I don't think she bought any of the illegal vapes, however. Poor Burt Jones being tied to illegal Chinese vapes. It's the funniest thing. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard this morning. I hope it made you laugh too. This is so good. Illegal Chinese vapes. Watch out. Because Burt Jones will give them to your children when you're not looking in the library at their school. It's all coming down. Now we know. Now the ad has told us. Now we're in the clear. We know what's going on. The movie industry in Georgia seems to be a bust all of a sudden. Let's talk about that next. On Extra 106.3. Good Monday morning to you.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, April 6th. The Atlanta Braves split their 4-game series in Arizona with the Diamondbacks over the weekend after a 6-5 loss yesterday in 10 innings. The Braves now head out to Anaheim to open up a 3-game series with the Angels starting tonight. It'll be Chris Sale on the mound. He'll be opposed by Jose Soriano. First pitch is set for 9:38. You can listen to all of the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan and The Fan app. From college basketball, UCLA beat South Carolina on the women's side to become the national champions, 79-51 tonight. On the men's side, we get a great matchup as UConn and Michigan will tip off at 8:50. Michigan is the favorite for this game. UConn looking for their 3rd national championship in the last 4 seasons. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
You and your buddy, you've been through a lot with each other. The ups and the downs. He's been with you every morning, noon, and night. You've traveled the world together. Heck, he was even with you on your first big date. But have you noticed he's struggling lately? Not performing on the job. He can't even stand up straight anymore. He's wanting to cry out for help, but just doesn't know how. He needs Dr. Dio and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can give him the gift of good posture this year, help him stand proud and become all he was meant to be. Now, take him by the hand, look him in the eye and say, "I appreciate you, little fella, and we're going to get you some help." We're going to call 404-777-1911. We're going to visit tbtofga.com. We are going to say goodbye to erectile dysfunction forever. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. It's a hard conversation to have, but it's one worth having. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Online at tbtofga.com.
Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. The legacy of Joe Biden lives. His open border policy let millions of illegal criminals stream into our country. We continue to have customers visit the showroom and report that they have been victims of break-ins and lost their hard-earned and irreplaceable items. So don't be a victim. Drive by the Safe House showroom and see what real security looks like. Picture yourself placing your valuables in a Fort Knox safe. Now that's real protection for your priceless valuables. Drop by the showroom or go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File in the Credit Karma app.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Xtra.
This is the point by which I will judge all people during this operation from here on out. Are you in favor of making sure that our troops get the job done and come home safely? And that's it. If you are below the line, then I think you're a monster and I know where you are. If you're a Democrat that doesn't agree with the president, doesn't agree with this, but you believe the troops should get this work done and come home safely, we're on the same page. Because I don't care if the act was during the Obama administration, whether it was the faulty Biden administration. If you had troops in harm's way, I wanted them coming home safely.
The Morning Xtra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on a Monday morning, a happy Monday morning, coming off the rescue of the weapons officer from the F-15 that was downed. He was dead, the pilot and the weapons officer downed on Good Friday. And then they had gotten the pilot almost immediately. The weapons officer was like 36 hours or something that he was on the ground, hanging out in a cave, doing the best he could to get out of there. And so to rescue him on Resurrection Sunday was amazing. So I mean, it was that kind of weekend. I mean, it was good for me. Me and my family were really laid back. Jacob was over in Charleston, so Laura and I just kind of relaxed. He didn't play at all this weekend. The team was basically off this whole weekend, and so we just hung out. You know, we did a whole lot. Los went down to Georgia World Congress Center and again and won again. Sound like Forrest Gump. And I went and saw the president again. That's right, won Big South again. So it was a good weekend for all. Share your weekend with us at 404-741-1230 or at Xtra1063 across social media platforms.
It's a feel-good weekend.
It was, yeah.
A lot of reasons to feel great about the weekend.
Laying low was my favorite. I was due for a laying low, and Laura and I, we were, you know, it was crazy. We were getting ready to go to bed last night, and then Jacob decides to call, which he doesn't do all that much. So when he does, it's like, oh my gosh, I want to talk to him. But it was like, I don't know, 5 till 9, and Laura and I are both yawning. You know, like, oh my heavens, he's going to call.
There's no Jeopardy on.
Dude, we talked to that kid for the majority of his ride from Charleston back to Augusta.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, it was a good, you know, well, I bet we talked to him for at least 90 minutes, which never happens. And so it was a great way to conclude the weekend. Now, we went to bed tired, and I woke up tired this morning because I was, had stayed up way past my bedtime. But it was good.
I have one more trek to go on. So my youngest daughter, because she didn't want to spend 3 days in a convention center, she ended up riding back.
She's like, I've already done that. Y'all go
She's like, I already won that thing.
Check out the bling ring.
So she ended up in Huntsville with the in-laws and the cousins, and they do a lot of different cool Easter stuff. And so now I have to meet my father-in-law halfway.
Today to go pick her up?
So I'm pondering if I should go home or if I should just drive
straight over there, yeah.
And just if I
get
go,
it done.
Well, he wants to meet probably somewhere in like Somerville.
Yeah.
Even if I have to wait, I'm like, maybe I'll just go out somewhere and get breakfast or something and just kind of kill some time and then grab her and go home and then
that's funny.
Nap from there. But if I wasn't on such a high from this whole weekend, I'd be like, oh, I gotta go drive to get. I'm like, no, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great weekend. Very thankful,
dude. It is so good. God is good for sure.
Can I point out maybe this was the first time as I'm looking around the whole convention facility. And everyone, you had a lot of people that had the ears on, okay? Like the rabbit ears.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's good. And then I wanted to be like, so does anybody want to talk about the Shroud of Turin?
That was actually applies much more than your stupid rabbit ears and your stupid Peeps marshmallows.
And I felt a little bit offended as again, it's a nice gesture. People are handing out candy. Yeah. We were handing out candy to the teams we were playing.
Cadbury eggs suck.
A couple of the dads had brought eggs with candy in them to give to the other parents and stuff. So it's Easter's great. But I wanted to nerd out.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about the resurrection.
But it actually applies.
I know.
Yeah. Dude, yesterday on 101.5, because I still do the country shows over there, they were doing P&P, Parker McCullum, his concert, and Peeps. Marshall. I was like, this is insulting. This is insulting. And I made fun of it the whole time.
This is insulting.
I was like, nobody wants those stupid Peeps. Nobody eats those nasty things anyway. Nobody. I was like, when you get your tickets, you can throw those away.
I got a kick out of. So you remember we've had on Ani. Now, Ani is the woman that when all of October 7th occurred and all of the fighting that had went on in Israel. She's a friend of the show, a friend of our family, served 2 years in the IDF, and she talked about her family and what they were going through. Well, her husband had a post about the Shroud of Turin on Facebook for Easter. And I want to go back because the amount of people that are like, that can't be real. I'm like, start looking into it. It's pretty good.
And there was something like the National Weather Service or Weather Channel, one of the two, had talked about there being an eclipse 33 AD. So like on the day, on Easter, which had fallen on, I guess the original Easter, actual Easter, Resurrection Sunday, was on the 5th of April. So like everything kind of lined up for this past Easter,
like a movie,
very much like a movie, and it was. We could throw all kinds of stuff out there as you wear your freedom, your Army Green Freedom sweatshirt. There was plenty of that too, but it was just it was cool to see so many people so into the actual story of Jesus. Like you're talking about the Shroud of Turin, the eclipse on the original Resurrection Sunday, the Easter. People talking about those things were so encouraging to me.
Oh, sure.
I was really...
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I saw less, to be honest, Easter bunnies and Peeps and that sort of stuff as far as conversation goes. And maybe it was just the algorithm fed me that, so I thought it was more, which is possible. It definitely happens on occasion. But that's all. My timeline was filled up with stuff that actually meant something, which was encouraging.
There was a lot of European soccer teams that were getting a lot of flack for posting Easter eggs instead of like crosses.
Oh, really? Okay.
Stuff, and I know one of them was from Italy, and somebody compared the I can't remember what Muslim holiday it was, but compared that to Easter.
Yeah.
And the two posts were completely different.
Yeah. Where they had celebrated the Muslim holiday and then acted like Easter was a Walmart holiday. Yeah, that's frustrating. I'd seen a little bit of that. I think I'd seen it on Friday specifically when they were comparing and contrasting. But let those fools just be foolish.
Well, nobody should make a movie out of that.
Which part?
That's the second time I tried to set you up for this.
Oh yeah. Well, I figured we got 2 minutes. We might not get it all in, but we can. We can.
Because it would seem like somebody would make a movie out of that.
Georgia, if you've been in the state very long, you know Georgia has been, kind of the heartbeat of the film industry. I've never been an advocate for it. I don't like it. I don't like the tax breaks. And now that they're bailing out, it just seems like the taxpayers are the only people that are suffering. Listen to this.
It was all supposed to be an investment. Georgia handed Hollywood more than $5 billion in tax credits between 2015 and 2022. The Wall Street Journal just investigated what taxpayers actually got in return. And the answer is not great. For every dollar Georgia spent attracting film and TV productions, it recovered about 19 cents in economic return. The other 80 cents went elsewhere. Most of the productions that are filming in Georgia are not Georgia-based companies, so they do not owe Georgia income tax. Here's how it works. Georgia hands out tax credits to film productions as a reward for shooting in the state. But the system is set up in a way that allows studios to simply convert those credits directly into cash. The state ends up writing what is effectively a check to the film studio. The promise was that productions would come in, hire local crews, build studios, and create a permanent film industry. And Georgia built out thousands of square feet of soundstage space based on that belief. But as it's becoming abundantly clear, film productions follow the best deal available. And those are currently happening in the UK and Canada. Meanwhile, those Atlanta sound stages are sitting empty. The Wall Street Journal's takeaway is pretty straightforward. Georgia paid to build an industry, and the industry left.
Boom.
Yeah, we got a run of movies out of it. That's what we got out of it.
So if you got to see the Made in Georgia at the end of the trailer of a movie and you got to smile off of that, that's about all you got.
That's what we got out of it.
Yeah. And I've never been a fan of those huge tax breaks for that reason. Ain't nobody making money on it except for politicians, Hollywood, and those folks out of the Gold Dome. That's it. The rest of us getting robbed.
Yeah, well.
Like the Rivian deal, like every deal that they do.
But the cast of the Marvel movies, they all had Tropicalia.
Well, that's good.
They really liked the beer. It helped the beer.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It didn't help you. It didn't help me. It didn't help Georgia taxpayers.
I've shown you that before, right?
The Tropicalia thing.
So how they're randomly placed into a couple of
Easter
the
eggs.
Avenger movies. Just a random Tropicalia beer, or just one that's turned a little bit, and you're like, I know that can.
Wait a minute. That looks familiar.
That's what we got out of it.
When we continue, the next blockbuster
Somebody
film,
should make a movie out of that.
Maybe they will one day. Who knows? You can't ever tell. The next blockbuster film was written this weekend. We'll talk about that blockbuster next on Extra.
Fighting the communists with truth every day on the only conservative news and talk station in Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
It's still the greatest form of advertising, word of mouth. If we could bottle it and sell it, we'd be rich. But we can't. That's what keeps it honest. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons. From garage doors to entry doors to windows, for every opening of your home, we've got you covered. Talk to your neighbors. Chances are we've worked on their home. They'll tell you all about their 5-star experience with All Four Seasons. When trust matters, trust us. All, the number 4, seasonsgarages.com.
Somewhere, right now, there's a dog resting on a couch somewhere. Not sick, not in crisis, just maybe a little slower than they used to be. Maybe stiff getting up, maybe less excited at mealtime. Most pet parents, just assume that's just part of the dog getting older. But what many pet parents don't realize is that a lot of dogs are missing key nutrition from their food, and their food doesn't provide it anymore. That's why Rough Greens was created. Rough Greens is a nutritional supplement that you sprinkle right on top of your dog's existing food, and it helps support digestion with probiotics, joints, and skin with omega oils, and overall vitality with vitamins and minerals that the dogs need that they're not getting. If you love your pet, people all across the country are using Rough Greens as an easy way to support energy, mobility, and a healthier looking coat, especially as their dogs age. And right now, Rough Greens is offering a free Jumpstart trial bag. You just cover shipping. Don't change your dog's food, just add Rough Greens. Use the promo code BECK, claim your free Jumpstart trial bag at roughgreens.com. RUFFgreens.com, promo code BECK.
Attention, Extra listeners. Tax season is here. Do you have a retirement tax strategy in place? Because tax planning for retirement is not just about reporting your taxes, it's about planning them. We work with you to create an efficient tax plan to take you through the next stage of life, the next 10 years, 20, 30, and beyond, we'll help keep the golden years golden. Our fiduciary team provides personalized guidance to keep your financial future secure. Don't wait. Plan now for peace of mind. Schedule your complimentary consultation today at masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Atlanta legends are only on Extra 106.3 with the one and only Kimmer on your ride home every afternoon.
Yeah, it's so strange you don't know your neighbor. You're the type, the Helen Hardy guy who goes into a room and goes up to people and hugs them and asks them how they are and how they knows their family's kids' names by heart. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it?
It's the Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app. The Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
There's a new attempt to stop Operation Epic Fury. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It is a peace proposal for the U.S. and Iran being brokered by Pakistan.
Yesterday, I spoke with President Trump, and he said he's confident about the possibility of a deal even as early as today to end this conflict. But he said if there's no agreement, quote, you're going to see bridges and power plants dropping all over their country.
Reuters reports the proposal would implement an immediate ceasefire and reopen oil and other shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. But an Iranian official is also quoted as saying they would not do that. President Trump's given Iran until tomorrow night to reopen the strait. Back to Fox's Trey Yingst. He also reports from Tel Aviv another Iranian senior leader's been taken out, the Revolutionary Guard's intelligence chief.
Major General Majid Kadimi has been killed. According to a senior Israeli official, a joint U.S. and Israeli strike overnight took out the man who was considered effectively the number 2 within the IRGC. He's one of the few senior commanders, I'm told, who managed to survive multiple waves of Israeli and American targeting over the past year.
Congress is still in recess, so Homeland Security remains mostly unfunded after the House refused to pass a Senate version before lawmakers went on break. That version would have funded everything but immigration enforcement operations that Democrats demand reforms to.
Some Republicans are pushing for a reconciliation bill, which includes funding for ICE and Border Patrol. President Trump has set a deadline of June 1st for Congress to send him that bill.
Fox's Alex Hogan. That reconciliation process in the Senate would not allow Democrats to filibuster and block that funding. Today, 4 astronauts will see something no one has until this Artemis 2 moon mission.
They'll see the moon's far side for about 5 hours, and the spacecraft is expected to lose communication with Earth for about 40 minutes. The crew is scheduled to arrive back on Earth on Friday. They'll splash down off the coast of San Diego. Their journey is a test flight for future missions to the moon.
That's Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Align your business with other like-minded conservatives by advertising on Extra 106.3. Email sales at xtra1063.com.
I bet Front Office Los knows this song, don't you? Talking Baseball.
Yeah, we used to have a assistant coach on a club team that insisted on playing this all the time.
All the time? The reason we're doing it is the Terry Cashman song from '81, Talking Baseball, Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Because I don't know if you know what happened today. What year was it,
The
Bryce?
Challenger exploded?
No, the year was 2003, Los.
Oh, no. We hit that date?
It is the day.
So totally snuck up on me.
Your daughter wins Big South on Sunday.
Okay.
Today is the anniversary of the no-hitter? The no-hitter from Front Office Los in his college days.
It's only been 23 years.
That's right, baby. It
Now
was
my
a good-
arm doesn't work.
That's right.
Well, I'm glad that y'all
got
had a
that.
moment. That surprised me.
And a 6-0 win.
And a 6-0 win.
Should have been a perfect game. But if Nathan Murrell
You got your third win of the season.
had an outfield error.
Oh, no. An outfield error?
Outfield error. I think Nathan's done some time, so I'm just going to let it go.
It's this dude's done
We
some
follow
time.
each other on Facebook. He's been through some tough times.
Oh, has he got tattoos on his face?
No, he hasn't gone that far. But when you see the evolution of some people.
Yeah,
I think there was some hard times in there. I think Nathan's now got his life back together. But had he caught that ball properly,
None of that would never happen.
None of that would have ever happened.
What position in the outfield?
Left field. Yeah, that's the butterfly effect.
Buddy, that's tough there. But you still got the no-hitter out of it.
Yeah.
The 50 people in attendance watched an hour and 43-minute baseball game.
It was a quick one.
And they were impressed.
That was one of those afternoon games, like weekday afternoon. First off, like Saturdays or Sunday games, well attended by students. Afternoon on like Tuesday,
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Like 50 or 75 people.
You see that a lot.
And most of it, it's like, who are you dating? They might come out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now, was y'all's baseball field on campus or did you have to drive to it?
So, and now this is such a sad story. So we were off campus, and the reason why the university had donated the land to the city of Fort Worth to rebuild a minor league park that they used to have.
Mm-hmm.
But we had first rights to it. So we would share it with an independent team, the Fort Worth Cats. And this thing, LaGray Field, at the time, was like the nicest college baseball stadium in the area. Since then, the city decided once they didn't have a team anymore to let it go.
Oh, no.
And now it's done. But back in like
back in the day.
2002, 2003, when it was active, man, we had the nicest ballpark in all of college baseball.
What does the team do now?
Oh, now they play back on.
It is back on
campus. Yeah, and a much smaller facility. This was the difference in having like a 4,000 seat stadium and having 200 seats.
Yeah,
big difference.
Yeah, no doubt. So no hitter, and then his daughter wins Big South, the biggest volleyball tournament, in the southeastern United States, without a doubt, the fourth biggest draw for a convention here in the city of Atlanta, down at the Georgia World Congress Center.
All three halls filled, A, B,
Big
and
time.
C. We were in
Big
B
time.
the entire time, and it's so big that we would have friends of ours. You would ask them what court they're at, and they're like, "Oh, we're in Hall C. Here's what." Like, it's gonna take me 20 minutes to walk there.
Yeah, I gotta figure.
So you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'll just see you later.
I'll shoot you a text.
Yeah,
let
maybe
me
we'll meet
know
at the
how the
bar.
game was. Yeah, we'll
got,
meet at the bar.
got a good friend of mine. They qualified as well out of the 15s division. So we were already talking about where are we going to stay in Indianapolis.
Dude,
so
that's
it's
awesome.
easier to stay in Indianapolis together than to try that Big South.
Dude, that's great. So congratulations, dude, on your sweet daughter doing that, and then your own victory. We told you we are going to bring it up, and we did.
Well, thank you, guys.
Bryce was not going to let that one go by, so we've been devising that for the morning. So Masters gets underway today. First practice round of the Masters is today, which is cool. It looks like Scotty Scheffler's already had his baby out there. He and his wife got a new baby, and most people, try to go to the Masters. That's like their bucket list thing. That baby's like 9 days old, already been there. It's freaking nuts.
My stepdad has been there. I lined it out one time for my dad, but we had some things that fell through. Not on our part. He basically was like, hey, I've got some family stuff, had to stay in town.
Yep.
But I've got to find a way to get that man out there. So that's on that bucket list.
Yeah,
Not for me.
sure. Yeah, for
I just
him.
figure I'll just go
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
But I've lived here for 20 some years now. Never been to the Masters.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary trip for sure.
Whereas Sweet Tug,
one time got to go once.
SUITE Tug,
Dude, it was.
Of course he's been.
Well, but and let me tell you, I knew it was going to be cool. I expected it to be cool. It way far out exceeded my
awesome.
expectations.
I'd love to hear that.
I didn't, because I knew I've watched it a million times, and I knew all, Amen Corner and all the cool places, but to be able to see it up close is like nothing I've ever seen. It's up there with like going to the World Series and things like that.
I remember the one time I was sworn to secrecy by my brother-in-law. So at the time, he worked for EA Games, and he was working on the Tiger Woods game and had been on that project for like 5 or 6 years before he ended up moving on. And he told us how Tiger Woods, like 07, 08, whatever it was, this was going to be the first year where Augusta was going to be one of the courses that was on the game.
Wow.
So they had already gone out, and because they have to have the undulation of everything.
Sure, yeah.
So they'd already laser tracked all of it. And so
he got to go to do that?
So they were out there making sure all the system was set up to
right.
digitize the entire course. And then, like I said, they hadn't even made the announcement yet that it was going to be in the game, because you got to get the rights to that when it comes to Augusta and Augusta National. And so that was really cool when suddenly they introduced that part of the game, and he was like, I helped build it.
I did that.
He's like, see that? I helped build it.
Instead of Joe Biden pointing,
Yeah,
I did that.
he's like, I helped do that.
Yeah, this is when it's cool, when it's the Tiger Woods game. I did
Pretty
that. That is freaking awesome. When we were down last weekend weekend before, I guess this past weekend, the weekend before last, they had the gates open, which is rare, there on Washington Road, if you know much about Augusta, Washington Road. And every time we drove by that one entrance where you could see up the driveway that goes to the clubhouse where the big logo is and the flowers, it was just a glimpse as you drove by, but you're like, rubbernecking trying to say it.
You get a look at something that's iconic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for a moment.
That's exactly right. This is the Morning Xtra at Xtra 106.3, the first thing to know this morning.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high, man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
This is super cool.
Put a boot in your ass, courtesy of the morning.
I don't know who Dan Folbert is, but he's been tweeting all weekend long about the rescue of our pilot. And he just didn't care much about us losing this type of equipment. And there's the jets that were lost in the rescue mission, which is going to be a movie one day because it was so extraordinary.
Yeah, they were destroyed by our own special operators.
Yeah, that's right, because they just marred up in the soft, the soft dirt that was there on the makeshift airport. And this guy, he just can't wrap his head around it. It's like, what in the world? You lose all this to rescue one pilot, and you call it your great military success, the greatest of all time.
I think this is important to now do. X added this as a feature 6 months ago, 8 months ago. You can now see, because oftentimes you will have people that portray themselves, mostly as conservatives, but as Americans, they're not. You can see that they're actually originating out of somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Southeast Asia. I thought it was a really interesting post that I was reading, how when it was off of that. It's like, if you don't understand why this is worth it for one American, this is why you can never be an American.
That's right. Our girl, Batya Unger Sargon, she says the European mind cannot comprehend this.
No,
American flag, hard American flag. And it's the truth, man.
We don't leave people behind.
That's the military motto. It's always been the military motto. It'll always be the military motto. And it was something I was so proud of. That extraordinary mission to rescue the weapons systems officer. Dude.
The hour by hour, blow by blow is crazy.
The breakdown is unbelievable. Just the amount of intel, the amount of assets, the amount of special operators, the CIA's portion of everything that happened. And I don't know about you, but I liken this because we're coming off, Easter. No man left behind, the creed of the U.S. military. Reminds me of the parable of the lost sheep. Jesus told the story to the Pharisees, the shepherd who lost one. He left 99 to go get one. That's what this was. And so when Rice wrote it down, the Easter miracle, I had already written in my notes everything about that parable, because as soon as I heard about this mission and I'm following it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it is.
Well, and that is what's so tremendous about the entirety of the story. The 36 hours between shoot down, pilot being recovered, and now here's your weapons officer. And now it's a story of what are we willing to do as a country to make sure one person gets back home? And how many people were willing to put their lives on the line to make sure one person out there against a group of people searching for them is able to get back home?
And it's not like they had to beg people to go. I mean, people were ready to go. People were dying to go. They're like, yes, this is a mission worthy. I want to be a part of this.
So we have a friend of ours. He's going to be attending the Air Force Academy. And when you ask him, as far as what he wants to do within the Air Force Academy.
Let me guess, he wants to be a PJ.
Well, okay, so here's the fun part about it. When you start saying, like, well, do you want to go fly this? You want to fly that? And he's done some flying of planes. He's like, no, I'm really interested in pararescue.
Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't want to be a PJ.
That is...
Because, I mean, that's like...
Yeah, that mindset of, like, I'll go out there and go save somebody. I'll go get them.
Yeah, the PJs are incredible. Those pararescuemen are unbelievable. I mean, they're like Navy SEALs. They're like Army Rangers. You know, they're just the best of the best. At least for me, I knew about 10 guys that I served with. All of them went to Buds. None of them made it through Buds. And I would have guaranteed you one or two. I was like, yep, that guy has the mindset. It'll be the same way with the pararescue. I mean, so many people want to do it. Not many people. And I hope that kid does. I hope he's able to. It's just, it's unbelievable the amount, the mental aspect of it is the biggest part of it.
Well, to think that what goes on within our Special Forces community, so much of it is in my opinion, the elimination of doubt.
That's right. That's right.
How much can you handle? And at no point does doubt creep in because it's been mentally removed from your psyche.
It's just a different mindset. I don't have it.
It's just, what are we going to get done?
I don't have that mindset.
Like there's a part where I go, man, this is like mile 3 and my right hamstring started to bark at me. Well, I might have to shut it down for the day. No.
Yeah, there's no shutting it down.
Not in our special ops community.
Well, and just like the pilot, the weapon systems officer.
How do we keep going?
Well, we know he either had a really severe ankle sprain or a broken ankle after he parachuted out. And then he's climbing 7,000 feet, up a mountain to get into a cave to secure himself, to keep himself safe.
By the timeline, he's 12 hours on the ground before he's established a place at 7,000 feet where he feels comfortable setting up and waiting for rescue. Dude, 12 hours of being on the run.
Yeah.
This isn't it's a Hollywood movie. In the first 30 minutes, he's running from the enemy. 12 hours of evade.
Yeah, that's why we say it'll be a Hollywood movie, because it's exactly what they're made of. And I'm glad, man. I love the fact that we moved heaven and earth to find that air crewman. And I just can't help but notice the operations that Donald Trump has been able to pull off. Operation Midnight Hammer, Operation Absolute Resolve, where they went in and got Maduro, and now Epic Fury, and then throw this on top of it. Like, I don't even know what this op was called necessarily. Go rescue our boy. That's exactly what it's called. But look at the difference in the military structure of the command and control of our military, the decisions being made. Like, there was never a doubt that we were going to get our guy. Had this been in another administration, I don't know that would have been top of the board, a choice that we're making, because it was so dangerous. This is one of the most dangerous and deadly operations we've ever pulled off as a military.
Well, let's look at how this has been put together in the news media. Wednesday and Thursday was all about how Pete Hegseth is cleaning house of top military officials. Like, oh my God, he's getting rid of all the experience. This is what's going on. Now, here's where I want to point this out. A lot of people forget about this. Barack Obama was on a one-man mission to gut the military of anyone that he looked at as being conservative or being patriotic. Now, that might sound a little crazy. You're like, what do you mean? Look at who was being installed at the highest levels. They all had a globalist mentality, a loser mentality. America's best days are behind him. You had to have a shared view. Hegseth ends up being the first guy to be in that position to go, oh no, we're getting rid of this.
Yeah, we're fixing this.
And so Wednesday and Thursday is all about this. Look at how he's getting rid of all these military experts. By Friday, now the real professionals are at play. And by Sunday, you have an officer off the ground in Iran. You spent Wednesday and Thursday about how they're not going to be able to do it. Wrong again.
CIA sets up this faux rescue mission, and they had basically fed it to the Iranian channels that they knew the Iranians were listening to, and they thought the Americans had gotten to the weapons system officer and already were moving him on the ground out to a naval vessel. That's what they thought. That wasn't at all what was happening. We were instead bombing all sorts of places to set up a perimeter and build a makeshift airport. And we were able to get in with special operators and get our guy out, dude. It was unfreaking believable. And the coolest story, I think, is when they were able to communicate with the weapons systems officer and say, he sent back just the message, God is good. And they weren't sure what that meant. Was that he'd been captured and the Iranians were sending that to us to throw us off the scent? It turns out it was not. They conferred with his family. That's exactly what he would say if he is alive. And that's the reason they went the route they did. Dude, extraordinary is what it is. Pete Hegseth, the weekend Fox anchor, is able to pull off the greatest extraction of a military member in American military history. The weekend guy at Fox News Channel did this.
Some might refer to this group as the adults in the room, not the teacher's lounge,
dude.
Which I have a story of the teacher's lounge.
I look forward to hearing that for sure. But think about it. Donald Trump's a reality star. Pete Hegseth's the weekend news anchor. That's what pulled off the greatest military extraction of all time.
It's funny what happens when you get people who are actually accomplished into these roles.
That's exactly right. Leadership failed us almost 50 years ago. This time, very different. Storytime next with Front Office Los on Xtra.
Xtra 106.3 is getting ready for the 2026 midterms. And on the ballot, it's freedom versus communism. The choice is clear, and your vote matters more than ever. The future of our community and our country hangs in the balance, and the conservative voice of Atlanta will continue to fight the good fight right up to the election. Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
Join Daniel Matalon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. or listen to the podcast anywhere. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
You hear bail bonds and you think one thing: someone to get you out of a jam. But A Second Chance Bail Bonds is built differently. This family-run team, led by brothers Daniel and Ryan Matalon, believes everyone deserves a second chance. And they prove it every day through the A Second Chance Community Foundation. They support local nonprofits, partner with law enforcement, and stay active in community programs, food drives, and safety initiatives. Bottom line, they don't just work in the community, they're part of it. Learn more at a2cfoundation.org. That's a2cfoundation.org.
Well, you can feel it coming. That Georgia heat doesn't mess around. Hey, it's only the camera. How you doing? Before your AC starts running nonstop, let me point out the smartest upgrade you can make right now: Peach State Windows. I've known Jeff for years and years. He and a team been taking care of Georgia homeowners for more than 50 years, and he knows how these homes are built, how to keep the heat from taking over. Here's the deal: cooling your home costs a lot more than heating it, and if your windows are old, that expensive cold air is leaking out, and the heat keeps coming in. That's why Jeff installs windows with advanced heat reflective glass built to block the sun and take the pressure off your AC. Right now, 8 premium double hung Energy Star windows installed for just $39.95. 0% financing for 12 months. 770-485-8011. Keeping the cool air in and the Georgia heat out. Peach State Windows, 770-485-8011. PeachStateWindows.com.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Of all the radio ads I've ever done, I only advertised one thing that I think saved my life. My CPAP machine, sleep apnea. And I found the best CPAP dealer out there ever, Roddy, at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. CPAPsETC.com. Everything you need, all the supplies, shipped anywhere at a price that often beats insurance. CPAPsETC.com. Go take a peek now.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given is the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
The right partner makes all the difference. For more than 185 years, we forged personal relationships with our customers and communities, funding economic development and rallying around the causes that are important to our neighbors. With the technology, products, and expertise you'd expect from a big bank and the local decision-making and commitment to community from your neighborhood bank, United Bank Shares is your trusted financial partner for life. Learn more at bankwithunited.com. United Bank Shares, member FDIC.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, April 6th, and here are your headlines. New federal data shows the U.S. added 178,000 jobs in March, a sharp rebound after losing 133,000 jobs the month before in February. The unemployment rate also fell to 4.3%, with analysts saying the labor market remains stable despite global uncertainty. Spring break travel remains heavy across metro Atlanta following a busy weekend, with large crowds moving through Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Officials say tens of thousands of travelers pass through TSA checkpoints, and drivers are still seeing increased traffic as many are set to return home this upcoming weekend. And finally, in Forsyth County, commissioners are partially lifting a moratorium on new housing developments, allowing some rezoning applications to move forward. Leaders say the move comes after rapid growth, with more changes possible before the full ban expires next month. Today's weather is partly cloudy with a high of 71 and a low of 49. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
I want to give a country call out to a friend of the show, Gary, who is an Air Force guy and listens to the show and has become a friend of the show. He's participated in the Warrior Alliance golf tournament. It's so much fun to spend time with him, and he has been lighting me up because I made a tactical error.
Maybe some might call it a terrible mistake.
A terrible mistake, Front Office Los, when I compared the pararescuemen to the Navy SEALs. He says, pararescuemen go in and rescue Navy SEALs, sir. So I realize how amazing they are. I know how amazing they are. And he had sent me the 24th Special Tactics Squadron, who pulled off the rescue of the weapons officer from the F-15 in Iran over the weekend. It was like, these guys are the real deal. So I stand corrected. I was just trying to paint the image. That was a very simple, because most people, when they think of special operators, they think of Navy SEALs. Maybe not the PJs, maybe not Marine Recon, maybe not the Army Rangers or Green Berets or any of those. You know, it was just a small comparison, but an Air Force man takes that personal.
Just want to let everybody know, Gary's radar went off for Navy BS. He was like, Tug Cowart with his Navy BS.
He's locked in. So I stand corrected. I just wanted to let everybody know.
Meanwhile, our Air Force friend is sending us those evade tactics.
Yeah, dude, just the fact that
the training that goes into that.
Absolutely. That the weapons officer was able to use and implement to keep himself alive, keep himself safe, as the United States went and got the one, left the 99 and went and got the one, just like in the parable that Jesus shared with the Pharisees. And the fact that it happened on Resurrection Sunday is absolutely incredible. So there we go. I wanted to make sure that the record was corrected. That way Gary is fine. That way he doesn't come down here and walk a mud hole in my backside or something. He's
going to extract his own revenge.
That's exactly right. It is story time.
Settle in and get comfortable, folks. It's story time with Uncle Los.
It might be a little bit extreme, but if Gary did show up here and started hitting you with a belt,
yes,
like he took off his belt,
like Pootie Tang,
and gave you one or two, he put it right back in without,
and it just closed back up. Be remarkable. To see that up close would be remarkable.
It's the dumbest movie and the most enjoyable movie.
Yes, it's
ever. First off, how did we ever have a world where Pootie Tang, somebody decided, let's make this movie, and then it became what it became?
Yeah, it's just this cult classic.
This weird cult classic.
But Chris Rock in it. It's so good.
All right. Well, some might refer to this as the Pootie Tang of radio segments. This is story time. Thank you to Bryce. Thank you to Tug. And thank you to everybody out there who's always checking out the show. I want to talk about the difference in what 46 years makes. Because we are at the closing in of the anniversary of April of 1980, Operation Eagle Claw. Now, this is one of those names that when it comes to military history, it elicits a lot of, oh, God. Because what this was, Operation Eagle Claw, was the plan by the U.S. military at the end of the Carter administration to go get the hostages in Iran. The 52 people that were being held hostage, and had been held hostage since November of 79. This was ongoing, and it turned into, you took over the U.S. Embassy, you're keeping people there, enough is enough already. And so what was the plan? Well, on April 24th and 25th, talking about the parallels here, Tug, the plan was to establish a base in the Iranian desert. And from that area, you would launch operations into Tehran. Now, the plan was you were going to have 8 U.S. Navy Sea Stallion helicopters. They were going to fly to this remote area that was going to be called Desert 1. That was the plan. And from there, they would refuel with C-130 tanker planes. You would load up Army Delta Force, Rangers, and that was going to be part of the team that was going in there. Well, what happens? Well, the desert happens, okay? Like, that's the first part of this story about how everything falls apart. So, first off, 2 helicopters are damaged in a dust storm. So, that's the first part of, like, the weather becomes an issue. 3rd helicopter has hydraulic issues, inoperable. So, now you only have 5 helicopters. Well, the mission is still, let's see about this maybe going forward. The on-site commander at the time, Colonel Charles Beckwith, he recommended to the White House and Pentagon, we shouldn't go forward with this. We have 5 operational helicopters. If we have any more problems, we're not only going to have trouble getting our men in there, but then getting everyone out with the hostages. Now, during the withdrawal, okay, when they've decided we're not doing this, one of the 5 remaining helicopters collides with the C-130 tanker on the ground. Massive fire, explosion, and now you have casualties. 8 U.S. servicemen die in that incident. No hostages, no mission even attempted. If this didn't put a bow on what the Carter administration looked like and what American ineptitude of the time looked like, this was it. Operation Eagle Claw. Fast forward 46 years. Now, what do we get out of this? Well, Operation Eagle Claw and the tactics of what occurred ended up leading to the development of a different team. Hostage rescue, very specialized situations in very hostile areas. It ended up leading to SEAL Team 6. So for my Air Force friends out there,
take it easy.
All right,
breathe.
Let's just take a second there. Okay, let's just hold up. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm just saying
because they'll take it personal. They will.
People have just heard the name, but it's interesting that because of that situation, as our friend Gary Miller and a number of other people have pointed out, when it comes to those PJs. Oftentimes, their job is to let's go rescue other military members.
Yeah, let's go rescue the people sent in to rescue.
Yes,
yeah.
Let's go get them out of there. SEAL Team 6, in part, was designed for exactly what had happened in Tehran, a U.S. embassy. How do you take this back? How do you eliminate the threats? How do you get American civilians without military training out of there? And so you look at the differences in 46 years where, just as you talked about, Tug, you basically set up a temporary base in the desert. Here was our area of staging from inside Iran. Here is where you then had different military assets coming in. And as you pointed out, you lost an A-10. You got the pilot out of there quickly. You had a number of planes that you had brought in that they ended up having to, for lack of a better term, like a C term, they had to scuttle them. They had to blow them up, destroy them, so that the technology wouldn't fall into enemy hands.
But we're able and capable in doing that, where I'm not sure then or under the Biden administration when, the laughable job of getting out of Afghanistan, that they even considered any of that.
And so you just look at the difference operationally. And again, 46 years is a long time. But in my opinion, so much of when our military is special, it is leadership. It's not just objective. It is leadership, it's expertise, it's a mentality. And what this administration has focused on doing over the better part of the last 2 years is let's get the games out of here. No more of these, all right, this person identifies as trans. This military member wants breasts. You're not doing this stuff anymore. It's about the mission. When Pete Hegseth talked about being the most deadly fighting force, and what did he also say? And we're bringing you home safely. That has been, that has been the goal.
And he did it.
Yeah. So you can really draw these parallels, and I don't believe anyone on the left is going to be bringing up Operation Eagle Claw.
Definitely not.
At all this week.
Or President Obama putting in the most woke generals and admirals and leadership in the Pentagon as he possibly. So not only did we have to evolve from that and get better from that operation, we had to overcome Obama too.
For those people who have been part of the military in the last 20 years, you're probably nodding going, that's exactly what that administration was doing. It was about putting more politicians that were concerned about their next star, their next rank, their next position. Than
Lloyd Austin.
Then actual, because there's a difference. There's a difference in political generals and theater generals.
That's right.
And what Pete Hegseth has been doing is thinning out the herd with this stuff. Now, does that mean that you have to retire? No, but you're just going to find a different command.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
You're not doing the most important stuff.
Because
we're going to put you on the back burner where you belong.
Because how do you avoid Operation Eagle Claw? You put in serious men who understand how to do jobs. And again, you can go back 46 years ago. It was almost a very similar as far as a base of operations. Here's what we're doing. And they couldn't even get off the ground because they were that inept. That's story time.
Man, and to see what we were able to pull off, over the weekend is extraordinary. Do you think one person was put into place because of anything other than meritocracy? It is the best that we have available. We're going to leave no man behind. We are going to get our guy, and we did. There wasn't one person, Los. They're like, you know what? That guy, he's, you know what? We need to have a diversity of people. No, we need to have the best people.
You know what we should do? We should have a commission, and let's make sure that we have one person representing
every group possible.
We'll be the United Colors of Benetton, and we'll all decide whether or not this is worth it to go get our man out of Iran.
Mm-mm.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that anymore.
Anymore. Because we've done it in the past.
The Teacher's Lounge doesn't do this. The Teacher's Lounge is how they play the game.
Dude, I'm telling you. It's such a good feeling when you know that our military is using its ability to protect the United States of America or to extract a soldier, an airman that was falling behind enemy lines. I can't imagine. Would I be pulling for the Biden administration had this happened? Of course I would. Just like Lo says, I mean, the bottom line is get our folks in and out safely, conduct the operation in the war safely, get our folks home. We can agree on that, right? That's the lowest.
Can we agree right there?
Yeah, that's
Let's
the lowest
start right there.
That's the lowest we can go right there. I would have absolutely been cheering for the DEI hire, Lloyd Austin. Would I be cheering for him? Of course, because he is going to get our guy. But the problem is, I'm not sure he would have went in and got our guy. Our guy'd still be in Iran right now if it were up to him.
I'm not sure we would have had the operational expertise, and you can tell me all about what you think they would do. I watched Afghanistan live on TV. All right, we all saw that debacle.
Embarrassing.
And you think that these people were serious?
Never were.
In fact, after Afghanistan, after we had Abbey Gate, the military's first response to we're going to get them back was to hit a minivan with a missile and kill an entire family. And then how did they decide to punish everyone? They didn't.
Yeah.
So we're going to improve our systems.
Yeah, so
we're going to improve our structure.
And the reason I bring up Lloyd Austin is because he was SecDef at the time, Secretary of Defense, at the time, Secretary of War now. Dude went AWOL to get heart surgery.
Just disappeared.
Didn't tell a soul. That's the difference in a general that would be in the field versus one that's an academic.
No one knew where he was for a weekend. Now, technically, they didn't consider him AWOL, but as the Secretary of War, Secretary of Defense,
technically,
you're supposed to be known at all times where you're at.
He calls the Assistant Secretary of Defense, who's on vacation, is like, hey, can you just look over things? I know you're on vacation. Nothing's going to happen. Just look over things. I've got some things I got to take care of. What? So that's the difference in the academic, in a general, and then a theater general, ones that you saw that pulled off the operation this weekend.
Well, when you maintain higher standards all the time, it's interesting how you get higher levels of performance.
Of course.
More consistently.
Of course.
And that's all.
It's like a ball team, man. You putting the best players on the field or no? Do you want to win or no?
I know it's a little thing, and the Dodgers do dress at times like they're hobos. I have always liked that the New York Yankees, with their facial hair policy, they're like, no, you're going to look the part because we expect you to play the part.
That's right. Standards.
Do I like the grubby look too? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
But higher standards across the board. You
I always like
expect a higher level of performance.
I've never been a Yankees fan per se,
but I
always appreciated that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Standards are a good thing. A lot of people are like, standards. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because it matters. You're expecting more. That's why it matters, and that's what we expect out of our military now, because we can, and we know that they're capable of doing it. They put it on display all the time. When we continue, young men will save America and even the world. Next on Extra.
Good morning, it's Lowe's. Let's talk about steel equipment. And where do you get your steel? Of course, you go over to Howard Brothers. Nice weather means yard projects are calling your name, whether you want that to happen or not. So make trimming, clearing, edging, and cleanup easier with the power and reliability of steel. From chainsaws to trimmers to blowers, they make quick work of the messes you got to deal with. Steel tools help you get the job done right every single time. Find the full lineup over at Howard Brothers. You can stop by. You can talk with their team. A lot of people have been there working for years. They have a level of expertise. Whether you're a homeowner or you're a lawn care professional, they can get you the gear that's going to help with all of your yard projects. Steel and Howard Brothers, the tools and experts to make yard work easier.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, April 6th. The Atlanta Braves split their 4-game series in Arizona with the Diamondbacks over the weekend after a 6-5 loss yesterday in 10 innings. The Braves now head out to Anaheim to open up a 3-game series with the Angels starting tonight. It'll be Chris Sale on the mound. He'll be opposed by Jose Soriano. First pitch is set for 9:38. You can listen to all of the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan and the Fan app. From college basketball, UCLA beat South Carolina on the women's side to become the national champions. 79-51 tonight on the men's side. We get a great matchup as UConn and Michigan will tip off at 8:50. Michigan is the favorite for this game. UConn looking for their third national championship in the last 4 seasons. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Quick question. Are your tires ready for spring rain? If your tread is worn, traction drops fast on wet roads and stopping distance can increase when you need it most. Right now at Marietta Toyota, they can take care of you because it's the Toyota Tire Savings Event. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for just $1. Get the right tires for your Toyota, installed by factory-trained technicians with road hazard coverage included on eligible tires. Toyota Tire Price Match is available, plus top brands and additional rebates that may be available. Voted Best of Cobb, Best New Car Dealership, Best Dealership Service Center for 2026. You can trust the work. Offer ends April 30th. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
Restrictions apply. Valid on participating brands. 4th tire of equal or lesser value. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Hey Braves fans, Tom Glavin, and when my ride needs a wash, I head straight to Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Their friendly team and industry-leading technology give my car the ultimate shine every time. Experience an elite clean you can count on at Tidal Wave Auto Spa, the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and my go-to car wash destination.
My car is happy. I am happy. Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
Immaculately designed and manicured backyards can significantly enhance your property's value and visual appeal. And by adding a customized, professionally designed and installed artificial putting green from ATL Turf Co., it'll take your home to the next level. ATL Turf Co.'s custom greens are designed to replicate tournament-level green conditions with realistic ball bounce, roll, and speed, and has a stimp meter of 10 to 12.5. So maybe it's time to consider artificial turf.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turf Co. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
It's April 6th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. It's National Student Athlete Day, celebrated annually on this day. It was started by the National Consortium of Academics and Sports in 1987 to celebrate high school and college student athletes who have achieved excellence. In 1896, the first modern Olympic Games are opened in Athens. 241 athletes from 14 countries took part in the first Olympiad. The event took place over 1,500 years after the last ancient Olympic Games, which originated in Olympia in southwestern Greece. Also on this day, the United States declares war on Germany, formally entering the conflict in Europe in 1917. Over 2 million U.S. troops serving in France under the command of Major General John J. Pershing. The Kodak moment was born in 1889. George Eastman begins selling his Kodak flexible rolled film for the first time. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
The Morning Xtra, starting your day the right way. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
I have a lot, several cars. I have 9 kids, you guys, so I try to manage all of that. But I have a Suburban to move a lot of kids. I have an old Ford F-150. My wife bought a Bronco, which, by the way, she loves. And my kids drive a Subaru, and my son drives a Subaru and is relentlessly mocked by
Tug's wife drives one as well. Yes, he catches it as well.
I love that. He gets more Instagram reels and Twitter reels on the Subaru.
He's going to be asking you, Secretary Duffy, he's going to be asking you for that F-150. He was like, Dad, can I just drive the F-150?
Where's this Bronco?
Where's the new Bronco? Let me drive that.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Xtra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Happy Monday to you. Glad that you're here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
Cracker Barrel in Adairsville?
Well, look, that happening QT that you told me about.
The happening QT.
So, Los is going to potentially meet his father-in-law halfway to pick up his youngest daughter, who was over in Alabama with the family. And he's trying to figure out what he might do if he were to get there a little early before they make it to Adairsville or Summerville or out that area.
Well, the Watertown Grill doesn't open till 11.
Buddy, you're in bad shape. Well, I don't know. It'd probably take you a good 45 minutes after the show to get up there. So you don't have to wait maybe 15, maybe.
I'm taking a look at it.
If you drive slow, you can get there on time.
That's right, but nobody does that. Who does that? Drive slow. What? Nobody does that. If you ain't first, you're last.
Isn't there a Buc-ee's on the way?
That's Calhoun.
North.
Yeah, it's Calhoun.
Look, it's only an exit or two further north, but I'm not going further north just to come back south.
Yeah, no doubt. And
I'm not looking to kill that much time.
And I don't really love Boosie's. I know I'm one of the few.
And now, by the way, our friend Gary Miller's getting all sorts of play today. So he did send me the Joe Rogan, Bob Lazar podcast from the weekend.
Yeah.
As I told Gary, I was like, I already listened to it.
I beat you to it, pal.
Heard all about them aliens and the ships.
So, yeah.
It was a good suggestion. He knows I'm into this stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's like, you can listen to it on the way. I'm like, I've already listened to it. I got to find something else.
Beat you to it. Have you already listened to The Shroud, too, with Sean Ryan podcast?
So the person who's on there, I think Jeremiah, I'm trying to remember his last name. He did one on Glenn Beck probably about a year ago. And his information is all updated. This is a guy who is an expert on the Shroud of Turin and can go through all the data behind it. He's done research paper after research paper. And so
Jeremiah Johnston.
So I've been listening to it. I still probably got about 20, 30 minutes to finish up of it.
That may be something.
But there's also the Theo Vaughn one with Rogan, which I only could listen to about 10 minutes because I had young ones in the car.
Oh, yeah, because I'm sure.
And that was about the first 5 minutes of that one. I'm like, oh, my God, I have to turn this off.
I can't listen to this with the kids in the car.
They started talking about AI and the future of love robots.
Oh, my Lord.
And I'll just say 5 minutes, and I had to be like, okay, back this thing down.
I think I could do without that.
Put this car in reverse. Yeah. Can't play this with two 15-year-olds in the car.
Definitely not. Definitely not. The revival of young men may be what saves America and potentially the country. Churches are filling up with young men, and as young men go, young women will go too. It takes some time, but young men building families and communities will change America from just the rough place that we've been in to a place that can be good. Nick Shirley, you'll recognize that name. He's the one that uncovered all the fraud in Minnesota. He's uncovered massive amounts of fraud out in California. He has a strong feeling about this, just this wokeness and why it is. It's exactly opposite of what those young men that I just described are going for.
The idea of wokeness is essentially the idea to remove God from everything. The idea of that a man can be woman means that God made a mistake, but God's the truth.
Yeah.
So wokeness is kind of the idea of wokeness really is the idea of just removing God and filling it with something else.
Yeah.
And so you are seeing that divide. Like if you go ask any of those, if you ask a large portion of those people that are yelling at ICE agents, when's the last time they went to church, or the last time they had a family meal, or when's the last time they said a prayer? Most of them couldn't answer. And so you're seeing that's part of the big issue right now is you're seeing wokeness, which is essentially the idea of removing God and filling it in with something else, kind of getting in the brains of a lot of people.
Yeah, as the saying goes, idle time is the devil's workshop.
Amen to that. Seeing my own church filled up with young men, and I see it all the time, and I see it more and more and more, it gives me hope for the future of this country, because it is going to be on their shoulders that this country either survives or does not. It is our responsibility, you listening right now, to set a good path forward for our kids and grandkids. But it'll be on their shoulders, because at some point we're going to age out, Los. And dude, I'm creeping up on 50. I'm going to age out sooner rather than later, probably.
When Neil Boortz tells us, and I get why he does, it's like, I fought this thing for 25 years.
Yeah, such a good point.
He's like, it's on you guys.
Yep.
He's like, I'm done. It's like, I'm good. I'm retired. I'm in Florida. I'm enjoying my life. It's like, it's on you all. I get it.
Yeah, it is.
You have a run of when it is on you to talk about this stuff. And as these people that are iconic in it, whether it's a guy like Neil, when you have Kimmer, who's been doing it as long as he has, when you lose a guy like Rush Limbaugh, when Charlie Kirk is assassinated, this is a difficult but important thing to do. And I think a lot of it is how do you structure arguments? For instance, we brought up wokeness. Wokeness is just a nice veiled way of being racist.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's all it is. It's the way you see limitations in people. I'm woke. I understand what it's like to be this in America. No, you're just racist towards that person. You've just covered it with this. And so I think when you structure the argument in that way, and you hear somebody talk about how woke is replacing God, well, then it's just your racism. You've alibied for it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of there's so many layers of woke and how many things that you're trying to bring in. Look, there's even political, there's the political angle of woke, whether it is Marxism, socialism, communism, it all bleeds into that. But I love the fact that Nick Shirley is leading this charge and encouraging so many kids. He was encouraged by Charlie Kirk and now has kind of picked up the Charlie Kirk mantle in a totally different way than Charlie Kirk has, right? Charlie used to just go to campuses and talk, and it got him killed. Nick is actually challenging people. He goes to the Leering Center and says, wait a minute, how come there's no one leering in here?
This is very James O'Keefe, but we're talking about massive government fraud.
And brave, dude. I just want to add that, too. That kid's brave.
I think Elon Musk, and I don't think he was being bombastic about this. He talked about in several different interviews when he was running Doge about stuff that they would touch and stuff that they would not. And when he was asked about why are you only going after certain entities, and he's like, I don't want to get killed.
How crazy is that, dude?
Because when you start going after some of these boondoggles where these people enrich themselves and the system enriches itself off of the backs of the American taxpayers, if you threaten that system, there will be people who look to end your life.
Without a doubt. Charlie Kirk, they went after him, and he was just talking. So Nick Shirley, to Los's point, he is actually pointing out where the fraud is happening. He is upsetting the apple cart. If you were to have asked me back up, 6 or 8 months now since Charlie Kirk was killed? If you were to ask me, if I could compare the two, now Nick wasn't on the scene quite yet, but if you go back, I would have never guessed Charlie Kirk would have been killed, ever. A guy like Nick Shirley, I worry about that kid's safety. If they'll kill Charlie, they'll definitely kill Nick.
I want you to think about Julius Caesar. So I'm always thinking about the Roman Empire, right? And that's like what dudes do.
That's what I hear anyway.
Quiet moment.
Yeah.
Roman Empire.
Without a doubt.
When Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon, wasn't like he went to the Senate. Wasn't like he marched on Rome and took over all. He went to the treasury so that he could pay his soldiers and pay off who he needed to pay. He raided the treasury. All right? It hasn't changed. These are people that raid the treasury, and they will do whatever they have to make sure that they still have their hands in that thing.
Man, I just pray that Nick is safe. I hope he learned from the mistakes of Charlie Kirk by not having enough security around, and I bet there's people in his ear talking to him about that, but I pray that he is and continues to be safe. Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. If you want to make a deal, there's no time like the present. Next on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Don't know about you, but I'm a little sick and tired of hearing from so many fools that the big problem in America is white supremacy. So I'm going to give you a few factoids, a few statistics to chew on, and then you tell me what a big problem white supremacy is. We'll start with black males. 6.5% of the U.S. population, 94% can't read proficiently at the age of 18. 63% don't work full-time. 72% illegitimacy rate. 33% convicted felons. 50% of the male prison population commit 60% of the murders, and white supremacy is the problem. Some stats on New York City. Who exactly is doing the shooting? Asians are the shooting perpetrators at a rate of 5 times that of white people. Hispanics, 78 times that of white people. Black, 272 times the shooting rate of white people. White supremacy is the problem. Too many statistics? Well, one more set. Let's cap it off with homicide rates for men per 100,000. The worst state, Missouri. 59 plus deaths for black men per 100,000 in Missouri. This is over the course of a year. Whites, 2.77 per 100,000. Michigan, 49 black men out of 100,000 men die of gunshot wounds in the last year. Whites, 1.52. Sorry, I didn't research the rates for Georgia. But remember, white supremacy is the problem. No, I don't think so. There might be another reason, but to talk about it would be racism. Neil Bortz, Extra 1063.
Fox on Tech, the evolution of spaceflight.
Americans first saw one of their own reach space on May 5th, 1961. Alan Shepard flew a suborbital flight for all of 15 minutes.
We got a beautiful mission going here.
But America wasn't the first to reach space. Shepard's flight was the U.S. catching up to the Soviets, who put Sputnik, a satellite, into space nearly 4 years earlier. Americans learned about it from Fox's movie tone newsreels in cinemas.
The epical scientific achievement by Soviet Russia in beating the United States of America in the race to launch the first man-made moon has all humanity staring heavenward.
Russia followed Sputnik with Yuri Gagarin flying a full orbit about a month before Shepard's mission in 61, and it meant the U.S. needed to quell fears of being second-rate in space. And so began the great space race of the 20th century to reach the moon before the Soviets. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Another senior Iranian military leader taken out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, on day 38 of Operation Epic Fury.
Majid Kadimi, the head of IRGC intelligence, I am told by a senior Israeli official, was killed early this morning in a strike against the Iranian capital of Tehran.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv is also monitoring a proposal to stop the fighting.
Now, today, Reuters is reporting that a framework to end hostilities has been put together by Pakistan and exchanged with Iran and the U.S. overnight, outlining a two-tier approach with an immediate ceasefire, followed by a comprehensive agreement.
There's no U.S. reaction to that proposal yet that would also reopen the Strait of Hormuz to oil and other shipping, something an Iranian official also tells Reuters they would not agree to for just a temporary ceasefire. President Trump, in an expletive-filled Truth Social post, had warned Iran if it doesn't open the strait by tomorrow night, the U.S. will attack power plants and more bridges. Now, the president is planning a news conference early this afternoon, expected to discuss that weekend mission, rescuing an American injured and stuck behind enemy lines after Iran shot down a U.S. fighter jet.
He's expected to get into the details of the decision-making behind this and where the conflict stands today.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House has more details on the rescue of the colonel.
U.S. is trying to find him. He managed to scale those 7,000 feet up while injured to an elevated ridge, activating his emergency beacon. Sources say that the U.S. initially had feared that this beacon signal was a trap by the Iranians. That proved not to be the case. At that same time, the CIA was spreading a deception campaign saying that the colonel had already been found and was being transported out by vehicle. Where he really was protected from above by MQ-9 Reaper drones. President Trump calling this the most complex search and rescue operation in history.
The 4 astronauts on the Artemis 2 mission will go where no one's gone before today, flying around the far side of the moon. They'll also break the record set by Apollo 13 for traveling the farthest distance from Earth. America's Listen.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Search for the Extra 106.3 app wherever you download apps by searching XTRA 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Glad that you're here. We wish you a good day. Some people might say morning, y'all. That's the way they said it when I was growing up. So we try to say it here occasionally, too. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. It was a splendid week. Or I guess a weekend. It was a splendid weekend. It was really laid back for me and my family. We went to service on the lawn, Good Friday service on the lawn over in Crabapple. Awesome. Saturday, a really laid back, relaxed day, just like a cookout with family.
Crabapple?
Yeah, over in Crabapple. That's what I call
Crabapple.
it. Yeah, over Crabapple. It was on the green there. It was great. Stone Creek Church, which is in Milton, hosted it, and we were invited by some friends who went there. It's the first time I'd ever been to Good Friday service of my whole life. It seems strange that that'd be the case, but it was. Saturday, relax, and then Sunday, sunrise service at our church over in Perimeter. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. They had to move it inside because of the rain, but with the stained glass windows, it still illuminated quite nicely. It was a really pretty weekend. And then front office Los, he and his daughters, man, they were grinding on the volleyball court. 2 weekends in a row, this dude gets to bring home some trophies.
11-year-olds got it done basically a week and a half ago. Yesterday, the 15-year-old daughter, her 16s team, got it done. So we're both now, one group heads to Minneapolis, the other group heads to Indianapolis. So
divide and conquer again.
Add another $1,000 to the season.
Are they the same weekend?
No, they're on different weekends. So, but it's good. It's great to see all the girls celebrating. It's great to see all the parents because, it's been a struggle through the year. Like we've had our heart broken in a lot of these qualifiers, and to finally have one where everything fell into place and the team that we beat from IMG, as I told you before, $70,000 to $90,000 a piece.
I think we did the math. It was about $1.1 million for that
$1 million team.
Yeah, $1 million team.
We are not.
Yeah, all right.
And yet we were able to take them down. So it was a really cool feeling. Really good.
That is such great news, and congratulations.
$1 million team.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Insane.
That's insanity.
They had some girls though. I was like, man, they're really good.
Yeah, and it was some of the videos you showed me. Was that playing those guys?
IMG Ascender 16-1.
Good. That's
they could play.
Well, they're supposed to win everything with a bank account like that.
Yeah, well,
turns out
ran into the scrappy girls from Atlanta.
Absolutely, ran into a little grit.
Got to watch out for these gritty girls,
dude. I love it. Braves split with the Diamondbacks yesterday, hoping that they would be able to pull that one off going into extra innings, and not so much. But it was still, dude, we'll take a split. I would rather have the series win, but they're still off to a really, really good start, and that's been fun to see. The Masters starts today, practice rounds.
Awesome.
So cool.
Such a great time around here.
Dude, I was just reading a story about Jackson Harrington. He's a kid that'll make his Masters debut. He is a golfer for the Tennessee Volunteers. And in elementary school, he drew a picture of himself wearing the green jacket, and today he'll be out there practicing again. It's kind of like we talked about with our military, right? Just being the best of the best. Like the guys that wanted to be special operators, that wanted to conduct that mission that happened, that was so extraordinary over the weekend. They have to be the best of the best. This kid had to be the best of the best. I love meritocracy, man. I love when somebody is extraordinary. Joe Adele over the weekend. Dude, robbing 3 home runs in one game. Again, just the best of the best and putting it on display.
Yeah, for Braves fans, you're going to see all those highlights tonight and for the next several days.
Yeah.
So as you sit down for the 9:38 start time in Anaheim, just know you're going to have Joe Adele in right field. That highlight package thrown at you probably for the next 3 days.
No doubt. It was remarkable, but I watched it over and over again, as a matter of fact, because it kept populating in my social media feed. You can find me at Tug Gowert and, of course, Los at Front Office Los. At Extra 106.3 for the station overall. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Let's get to the first thing to know this morning.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high. Man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
Donald Trump is your daddy. Well, we're going to find out because it is deal time. At least that's what the hope is as of now. Trump over the weekend coming off of the amazing rescue operation in Iran. Tug and I were talking about it off the air when we started reading some of the posts that apparently are associated to Donald Trump, basically letting everybody know, you're either going to get the deal done or we're turning you into ash.
Dude, I didn't think it was real.
I didn't either when I first saw it.
I had to go to Grok. I'm like, is this real? You know, and it was like, yeah, that's real, buddy.
So Fox News ended up having this over the weekend as well. And this was laid out as far as what the plan is. You now have basically dealt just it's wound after wound over to Iran. Again, more of their leadership killed over the weekend. Obviously humiliating them on the battlefield. You have near superiority throughout the entirety of the country. Reportedly, you're arming the Kurds, and now they're doing what they're doing as far as fighting back against the Iranian government. But here is what was on Fox News. Here is the plan. It's 40 seconds long of explaining what's going to happen, at least over the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, guys, good morning. I just spoke with President Trump for 15 minutes. He gave me some new details on the negotiations behind the scenes with the Iranians and what's going to happen if Iran does not make a good faith deal. The president tells me if they don't make a deal and fast, I'm considering blowing everything up and taking over the oil. The president went on to say you're going to see bridges and power plants dropping all over their country. Now, I asked him about the possibility of an agreement with the Iranians. He says those who are negotiating on behalf of Iran have been granted amnesty at this time so they can continue the talks. And the president tells me he thinks he'll be able to get a deal by tomorrow.
All right, we're going to see. Now, there's always the discussion point. Deadlines make deals. He's using I'll blow up your bridges and power plants as his deadline.
And had already blown up one of the main bridges.
To show you.
Just to show you. It was that Thursday or Friday?
I think Thursday.
Right at the end of the last week.
Yeah.
And it was funny because that was, not even in anybody's thought process, because it's been so specifically military. And then he knew, he already, let's set the stage. We're going to take out this big, important bridge. This incredible structure that is helpful to the people of Iran, and we're gonna set the stage for that. And dude, I love the fact that he said we're gonna take over your oil industry. They've already done it in Venezuela again. Mm-hmm. He's showing you. Don't you know what we've already done? You've got the history. You know what is out there. We will do it to you too.
Don't you want to maintain sovereignty? All we're talking about is we want the uranium. There will be no nuclear weapon. Now, there's been various reports that the Iranians have agreed to that portion, but I trust them as far as I can throw them.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But that's now to watch here the next 24, 48 hours to see if some of these deals get done. And it's in the interest of Iran, in their own power, to try and keep delaying this. I don't think they're really so concerned about what kind of carnage you can cause. Their only tipping point is, what if the Americans cause enough carnage that our people rise up and tear us apart?
Which is exactly what we're hoping for.
Which is what we've seen in Libya and other places.
That's why they tried to arm some of those citizens. That has not gone that's not gone the way we would like for it to.
That part of the world doesn't just shoot you.
Mm-mm.
No, they tear you limb from limb.
They do. Hey, this is an aside, but I noticed it happened a bunch this weekend. I saw Kristen Welker say it, and then Trey Yingst in that report that you had there, Los. These reporters, they hate on Donald Trump all the time. Whatever. You can see their coverage and how slanted it is oftentimes, including Trey Yingst. I've seen him get a little sideways too, and makes me question him a little bit. Most of it's been great, but there is those times, and I'm just like tilt my head sideways like a dog that heard a whistle. But isn't it interesting how both of them use and drop Oh, I was texting back and forth with the president. Kristen Welker did it this weekend, and in that report, Trey Yingst as well. They despise the man, but they sure love using that, oh, I text with him all the time.
Oh, of course.
Look how important I am. This is why you can trust my information. No, I don't trust anything you say until I see it for myself. But I find it fascinating that they call him authoritarian, they call him Hitler and King and all that sort of stuff. And yet everybody in the press seemingly has a number that they can reach out to him and ask him questions directly anytime they choose to do it.
Yeah, strange that he allows that much access for a
tyrant
dictator.
Yeah, for a tyrant,
right?
And it's funny how quickly they drop it. That's the irritating part to me, the fact that they drop it so quickly because it's in their own self-interest. Their reporting is not in the best interest of the country about half the time. But for them, hey, look at me. This is the greatest. I'm the greatest. I'm so important that I have the president's number. But, dude, that mission this weekend, if that doesn't make you stand up and salute, coming off, and that's another thing, coming off of Artemis II, the pride that has been just shown across the country from sea to shining sea, the pride that we've all had, kids being inspired, the actual crew talking about things that are important to them while they're up in space. That pride, and then the pride of seeing this mission pulled off, one of the most impossible missions, the most unlikely missions, and it was handled almost flawlessly, Los. That's another point of pride for me as a guy that was in the military, and I was just a regular everyday sailor. I wasn't not anywhere near a special operator. I had my place. I did my thing, and I'm very proud of that. But when I see what those guys are capable of the best in our military, that's another point of pride for me.
The left gets American exceptionalism confused as if, you guys all think that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. We talk about America was founded as the exception of free people that are actually running a country. Not a monarch, not a dictator, a free people who have self-determination. But it's amazing what happens when those free people are allowed to be ingenuitive, they're allowed to be creative, and you see what they foster. We are sending people around the moon, okay? At the same time, we're also pulling soldiers out of Iran with people on their heels.
Yeah.
Like, where are we not dominating here?
I can't see anything.
Where are we not showing off what American exceptionalism can be?
A thing that we didn't talk about a lot last week was the jobs report, the economy.
180,000 when the estimate was 60,000. We were told to start the year, expect a booming economy. That was from Scott Bessent saying this is what we're going to see as we get from the jobs market into 2026. And by God, if you're tripling the number.
Yeah. So again, just another feather in the cap of Donald Trump and the administration and the American people. It's because truly, it's nothing to do with Donald Trump. He's got plenty of money. What is he doing to set you and put you in a position, set you up for success, put you in a position for success? That's the reason you voted for the guy to begin with. Like, I want people that don't belong here, that don't love this country. We want them out. And there's plenty of that still needs to happen, but they've got a good start. So that will continue. If the economy continues to grow, you have wins on the international stage. I can't imagine going into the midterms very concerned if everything continues to roll the way it is.
If affordability has been like the buzzword, now the Democrats have kind of made affordability go away for a while. Now they're trying to cycle back to it. Like, let's see if we can bring this back up again.
Yeah.
If we're getting wins, foreign wins, that's important. But what are also your domestic wins? And as much as I'm here for the SAVE Act and want to see how that's all going to play out, if you keep posting job numbers and you keep getting the strength of the economy to be in a pretty good place over the next several months, I think you feel pretty good not listening to the Democrats talk about how they would do it better because they don't have ideas.
Yeah.
That's the primary issue. Everything is just, what was it John Fetterman said over the weekend? It's like, who's your party's leader? TDS.
Which is not the first time he said that.
What is the determining factor of your party? What is the plan for TDS?
And I hope Americans see that. I know people listening to this show see it, but I hope people see it across the country. And I can't help but think that they do a little bit. Because what do you see when you see the Democrats on TV? You see them melting down over something Donald Trump said or did. Like even Marjorie Taylor Greene, when she came after Donald Trump over the message that we're coming to get y'all, he said it with, I just spit everywhere. He just said it with not so many words. And she even went after him. It's like, what's happening? Why is it that this guy doing things, operating the way that he does, just turn people absolutely insane? If you just step back and go, okay, there's a plan to the chaos, then you can, even when things don't make sense to you in the moment, when you see it play out, you're like, now I know why they did what they did.
All right, I'll give you a couple examples. Great Gatsby, new money versus old money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ever seen Caddyshack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's the person, the turd in the punch bowl. They ain't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's a billionaire, but he's not in their class.
Yeah.
All right. He is that guy that they look at as, this is our thing and you're not supposed to be here. And it's incredible how quickly the political class looks at Donald Trump. And again, billionaire, and is like, well, you don't know what we know, and you don't do what we do. And by the way, that's coming from a lot of people who have been sitting over in Congress for 40 years that think that the country belongs to them.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why you get that mentality.
I know better.
It's their country club. Well, it's not supposed to have this Yahoo here with his crazy orange hair and crazy orange skin.
That's right.
What's he doing?
That may be why they went with the whole, he's dead. You know, maybe that's the reason they went with he's dead, and because you pulled it up earlier, just
one line after another,
dozens and dozens.
As the military operation is looking stronger in Iran, like this is going to happen. You're bringing a guy home. The left decided, as a response, to try and make it seem like Donald Trump was not in the Oval Office, was not in charge, and that he was somehow at Walter Reed Hospital. And to see it across the board of all these, now, none of it from our side, none of it from actual news reporting.
Yeah.
Strictly, let's create this on the left to see if we can downplay what the success is.
I don't even think people understood it. I didn't understand it.
I thought it was completely out of left field.
I was like, what is that all about?
I was like, are you just trying to take the shine off of what's going on here? And
I didn't understand what was going on.
I thought it was a misplay.
Yeah, because it didn't.
Again, as you said, the most accessible president that we've had in decades. And yet you're trying to turn it into, wait, he's disappeared?
Don't you think Kristen Welker would have texted him and said, hey, Mr. President, are you in the hospital? You know, whether he responds or not, I don't know. But they sure brag about their access to him. Seems like they would have done that. But instead, they just went with, he's in the hospital. We need to know the truth.
We need to get to the bottom.
We got to get to the bottom of this. I've got tickets for you to see libertarian political satirist and humorist, author, and host of the Fox News Channel's late night show Gutfeld, Greg Gutfeld, at Gas South Arena on April 11th. We'll give those tickets away right after headlines next on Extra 106.3. The ABC News team built a group of people to take down Donald Trump. It has been confirmed. We'll share the news with you next on Extra.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
You hear bail bonds and you think one thing. Someone to get you out of a jam. But A Second Chance Bail Bonds is built differently. This family-run team, led by brothers Daniel and Ryan Madelon, believes everyone deserves a second chance. And they prove it every day through the A Second Chance Community Foundation. They support local nonprofits, partner with law enforcement, and stay active in community programs, food drives, and safety initiatives. Bottom line, they don't just work in the community, they're part of it. Learn more at a2cfoundation.org. That's a2cfoundation.org.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Hey, this is Los with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car. My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
It's tax day. You can track your return, and you have options if you can't file yet. I'm Jenny Cosola with your Fox Business Tax Tip after this.
Hey, I'm Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. I hope you will join me every Tuesday and Thursday as we navigate life together and hopefully find ourselves a little bit better on the other side.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com.
Tax day means your return is due. CPA Stephen Zellin of Zellin & Associates says you can get an extension.
You can do that online at the IRS website. You can do it online at your state website.
But Zellin says you need to pay your estimated tax.
You can get penalized and you have to pay interest.
If your community experienced a disaster, check if your deadline was extended. And if you filed and haven't received your refund yet, check Where's My Refund at irs.gov. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, April 6th, and here are your headlines. New federal data shows the U.S. added 178,000 jobs in March, a sharp rebound after losing 133,000 jobs the month before in February. The unemployment rate also fell to 4.3%, with analysts saying the labor market remains stable despite global uncertainty. Spring break travel remains heavy across metro Atlanta following a busy weekend, with large crowds moving through Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Officials say tens of thousands of travelers pass through TSA checkpoints, and drivers are still seeing increased traffic as many are set to return home this upcoming weekend. And finally, in Forsyth County, commissioners are partially lifting a moratorium on new housing developments, allowing some rezoning applications to move forward. Leaders say the move comes after rapid growth, with more changes possible before the full ban expires next month. Today's weather is partly cloudy with a high of 71 and a low of 49. Your Extra 1063 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Oh, we got some good plans for you. You know, you ever do that? Hey, what do you want to do this weekend? I don't know. What do you want to do? What do you want to do tonight for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to do tonight? Well, I've got plans for it. I'm going to take that out, right? Los and I want to set you up with tickets to Gutfeld, Greg Gutfeld at Gas South Arena. The show Saturday, April 11th. And Tom Shalhoub will be there as the surprise guest. And we're going to set you up with the grand prize. One of the winners will get to go meet and greet and hang out with Tom Shalhoub a little before the show. So caller 5 now. We'll get you those tickets and get you qualified for the meet and greet. Otherwise, you can buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com. But why when you can win them here on Extra 1063? Just seems like the obvious thing to do. I mean, I'm not super genius or anything. Like Wile E. Coyote, super genius.
Can either win this for free or pay for them. I would take advantage of us. Look, and I don't even consider taking advantage.
No, I don't either.
Just a reward.
Right. Yes, it is. And we try to reward you for spending time with us, whether it's 30 minutes a day, whether it's 4 hours a day. I mean, we prefer 4 hours, but if we can get 30, we'll take 30.
Can I ask you, if not to disparage Georgia grads or anyone else, but is it possible that maybe they don't really get into directions or map making at the University of Georgia?
What makes you think that?
Because I'm having a text exchange with the break with my wife. And I said, I think I'm just going to get a little bit of grub and head to like Adairsville.
Okay.
She's like, well, why don't you come home first? That's a lot of driving.
Because you're going to add an hour. 30 minutes home, 30 minutes back. It's an extra hour.
I'm going to go in the complete wrong direction to come home just to go back the other way. I'm like, no.
That's right.
Come on.
Oh, baby girl, come on now. Come on now.
I just said, it's more driving if I come home. I'm 20 minutes from Adairsville here.
I think I'll just stay here. I don't want to add the additional hour.
I think I'll just hang in the area that I need to be.
I'm sure it's just early, and she had her mind somewhere else. That's nothing. That's not a reflecting on.
We're not on to the second cup of coffee yet.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. You want to get that girl some rainstorm. Maybe. Some
got
energy.
What? Oh, Tug,
dude. Okay. Wow.
I was violated over the weekend.
Wow.
I know.
At the Georgia World Congress Center, did you call the police?
Yes. No, I didn't call the police, but I was violated.
Okay.
So I'm in the Congress Center, and they are out of Monster. Like the sugar-free Monsters are all gone. They have all Coke products. First off, that's why it makes it such a great place to go.
Yeah, for sure.
But they did have rain. And I was like, I'm going to get, because Tug and I have partaken in rain before.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
I took it back to the court for our semifinal match, put it down next to the bag. Somebody picked up that rain unopened.
No way.
Somebody wandered off with my rain.
Dude, that's low down.
I agree.
That's low down.
And normally that doesn't happen.
I know. Do you think maybe it was, just best case scenario was somebody accidentally sat down, they
Oh, yeah. The bag sitting right next to the pillar. The only thing that's out there.
I'm just trying.
I opened up my bag. I started looking through it like, where's the rain?
Oh, it was in your bag?
No. It was sitting by your bag. I went into the bag just out of curiosity. Like, did I maybe stick it in here on accident? Somebody took my rain, man.
What flavor was it?
Terrible.
It was a kiwi one. It's the only one they had.
Yeah.
But I think, we used to have all of them here.
Yeah.
I liked all of them. They were all fine.
They're all really good. They're all really good. So whoever did that, I hope you have a terrible day today.
Yeah, low down.
That's dirty.
I hope it was the other team.
Low down.
That's why you lost.
That's right. That's why you got what was coming to you to begin with. You should know. You and I know, Los, that the mainstream media goes after Donald Trump. It's not any sort of conspiracy to say the mainstream media daily goes after Donald Trump. But I don't think I would have thought, even knowing what I just said and knowing what we know, that they would necessarily build a specific team to go after Donald Trump. Like, assemble a program to go after Donald Trump.
It's crazy talk.
It would be, right? But that's exactly what Billy Bush said happened at ABC News. Listen.
Their determination to find something. Yeah. Imagine going around asking that question: who has something? Who has, there's evil in that.
ABC
even
News
if it's somebody that we don't like.
They had a division dedicated with 75 people in it, because I know the guy who ran the division, which was dedicated to basically getting him.
Wow.
And all the big network news did. I understand all of that. Like, what you can do, they have a voice, and different networks have different voices.
All network news did, he says, but he knew the guy that was running the division at ABC News. 75 people just digging. How do we find something on Donald Trump? This is why people clamor to Donald Trump the way that they do. They see him as you can't say Cinderella story, but kinda. He's the guy that wasn't supposed to come back. He was dead in the water. And yet he came back and was elected again. When you see that, he becomes a character that is to be supported. He's I think people see it as the underdog story. A billionaire in the underdog story? Yeah, because they put divisions together to bring him down.
This is the mistake the left continues to make.
They make him sympathetic every time.
If you didn't make him, you can't break him. And Trump doesn't have that. We've had people in the mafia that have pointed out, listen, we tried to buy him off. There's nothing there. It's like there's no luck. We didn't have any angle. And so what is the best thing you have? Him saying you can, when you're rich and important and powerful, you can grab him by the pee. Which then the comedy of all of that is that when you actually tell that to women, they're like, oh, he's not lying.
Yeah. that was what was not
part of the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever podcast, they were like, yeah, that's true what he said.
Yeah, a woman said that.
A woman is the one who said that.
Yeah.
So the only person who can hurt Donald Trump at this point is Donald Trump. And so I point this out on a regular basis. If you want to separate him from his voters, well, then you have to let him do that himself, because everything else that the left tries to do just makes him more endearing.
They don't know that.
They don't get it.
They don't understand.
They're
that.
still operating under the old guys.
Yep.
That we can make anyone and we can destroy anyone. That they can go about that.
We have the power.
And I'll give you an example of what's going on right now. The left has decided that they want to clear the field of Gavin Newsom.
Yeah,
you start seeing what's been coming out over the last basically 36, 48 hours.
And what's actually being covered. That tells you why you're right about that.
The left has decided, let's go after Gavin Newsom because we want to clear him off the field. Now, he's only polling right now at like in the 20% range. Right now, Kamala Harris is polling higher. They want him off the field to play here. But because they made him, they more than feel that they can break him. And they're probably right.
Yeah, I think so too. The View has 150 people on their program. We talked about producers and writers and all that. So half of the View staff, like just to give you kind of an image of what that looks like. How many people work here at DBC, Los? 80?
Well, full-time versus part-time?
I mean, yeah, just overall.
Like full-time, we're probably at like 40 with like 80 in total.
Okay, so 80 in total.
Part-time as well?
Okay, so you would have to take this entire company, full and part-time, to fill what ABC News did, according to Billy Bush, to try and take down Donald Trump. That would be us every day at DBC just digging and working and talking on the air every day about what a low-down SOB he is, and he's no good, and he's awful, doesn't deserve, he's a Nazi, he's an authoritarian, he's all these things. The entirety of this company after one person, that's how much they hate him.
Well, I think this is important to point out. Neil Bortz, when Donald Trump was running, initially had to eat crow on saying he's not going to win the election. Had to eat a whole ton of crow. Yeah, had to eat a whole lot of crow. But then Neil, even the second time around, as he saw things where things were going, still had pointed out, I don't like Donald Trump. And when we would ask him, and we'll have him on tomorrow, our regular 725 with Neil, Neil is very honest about it. He's like, I like his policies. I didn't like dealing with him in a negotiation.
Yeah, which I think is fair. Like, if you deal with somebody you don't like them, that's fine. But Neil can even separate, because Neil, leading up, as you laid out, he was not a Trump fan. He wasn't a Trump voter per se. But for him to go, okay, I didn't like my dealings with him, but I like what I've seen that he's done.
And those can be different things.
They absolutely are.
I mean, for me, I don't have any time where I've dealt in a business perspective with Donald Trump. So I don't have any of those hard feelings of, man, I hope this guy, we got to sink him. It's just that the left is looking at this as, well, he's hard to negotiate with. Well, good.
Yeah.
It's like you know what I wish? I wish that when it came to getting our home insurance lower, that my wife was difficult to negotiate with. I wish that when it came to, whatever the next hospital plan is or whatever, I wish she was harder to negotiate with.
Sure.
Like, these are good things in my mind when it comes to this stuff. You know who I wish wasn't harder to negotiate with? My bosses in ownership.
Yeah, right. I wish they would roll over.
Yeah. Here's what I want. Are you sure you don't want 20% more than that?
Yes, matter of fact, yes, that's exactly what I meant to say.
What about 30? Sounds great.
That's to go. Right, absolutely right. And it's funny because if you can think that ABC News, them alone, had a team of 75, what were the other networks? Because Billy Bush said all the networks were doing something like this. And that doesn't surprise me at all. Now, can you imagine what they'll dedicate at DOJ if they're elected again? If they were to get back into power, what they would dedicate to destroying Donald Trump, who, would only have 2 years of his term left. And then let's say they get to 28. Let's say they win there too. Can you imagine the resources that they would dedicate for a man that's out of office?
I wish that I could get my liberal friends to understand this big picture. Donald Trump is the manifestation. He's the representation of the everyman. Now, I know you're going to be like, he's a billionaire. I'm with you. When I say the everyman, it's that when we talk about politics, we talk about, man, what would it be like if we had Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? The guy who isn't going to play the game with you. The guy who isn't going to deal with all the silliness and the backroom deals. He's just, here's what I'm going to do. Here's my principles. Here's what I want. Donald Trump represents those of us that don't like politics. And so the media looks at us all, like what we said, rubes. Even you that consider yourself to be liberal. He is, think about all the stuff that when it comes to the blue collar workers, the people that work with their hands. Okay, he's your greatest friend you've had in the better part of about 25 years. But yet you're still holding on to these constructs of, well, I mean, he's a Republican, so he is the most middle-of-the-road leftist Republican we've had in 25 years.
And it should be so clear to everybody. Because
he's not a conservative.
He's definitely
he's not a conservative.
He's definitely not. That's why we've joked about
and
how
so the media has to destroy him because he's able to put together this large tent of people.
And they will hate what comes behind him.
And
because they actually are.
You.
And they despise
the media
you.
Can't stand you.
I want you to hear from James Carville because he talks about that TDS. You know, he said, I want more of it. And when John Fetterman said, what is the head of the Democrat Party? It's TDS. It's not a leader. Listen to Carville talking about what they'll do to Donald Trump.
Listen to me, Trump. I'm going to tell you fat ass something. You're getting ready to get the living crap kicked out of you. You don't know because they haven't really told you. And let me tell you something. They're going to start breaking the news to you kind of gently. And you're going to sit there and wonder what it feels like to be punched in the mouth by Mike Tyson. But you won't know because it's quite one thing to imagine what it's like to get punched in the mouth by Mike Tyson. It's another thing to actually get punched in the mouth by Mike Tyson. And that's what's going to happen to you in November. Now, let me tell you let's talk about your future, your post-November future. First, people are not going to return your phone calls. They're going to correctly think you yesterday. Yeah, they'll say, well, he's got 2 years left. He can do damage. No one gives a about him. The Democrats are going to investigate you to no end. I would like to introduce you to Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, D. Rhode Island, because it is a lot of people's view. By the way, and Congressman Jeffers and Senator Schumer, they're going to go down to the White House on November 10th, and then you're going to have some stiff photo of them sitting there talking about collegiality and cooperation. Believe that bull. Then they're going to start going after you. Then they're going to start figuring out.
And he just continues on. He rambles and rambles, but it is all about we're going after you. We're going to apply resources, no different than ABC News did, just to go get you.
You have anything that you do that is so redundant that your brain just turns off to it?
Oh, yeah, driving down 400 to work every day.
Okay, so your brain turns off, and then you go, oh, there's 285, and you just, before you know it, you're just here.
Mm-hmm.
I look at prosecutions of Donald Trump the same way. Everything that Carville's talking about, like, didn't you already have a bite at that apple 10 times?
34 times.
How many more times do we? The left has no new playbook, okay? They don't. The elite left is looking at it like, well, this time, there is no this time.
But kind of the same with like socialism. This time it'll work.
This time we'll get him. You'll see it this time.
Yeah.
Now, the worst case scenario, if Donald Trump was to find himself with, let's say, a hostile Congress, he's just going to executive order you to death.
No, all that's correct.
And then you'll be so upset for so long. It's like, I'm just saying the TDS doesn't go away. All these people are looking for, like, when's the TDS going away? When's it going away?
Never going away.
You have created it for yourself.
Yeah.
In fact, when this guy's out of office, you're still going to have it.
That's right.
This is on you to get rid of this.
They can't. And James Carville says they don't want to. They want more of it. And I believe them. I think he's exactly right. But the problem is, while everything you're saying is correct, the problem is it's going to be a pain in the butt for the president for 2 years that they're going to attack him that way. It sucks. And then when he's out of office, they go after him and shoot at him or do whatever they do. Dude, that's going to be a tough life to live, knowing that every day you've got to fend off another lawsuit. And maybe he's used to it. Maybe it's fine.
He's totally used to it.
But it seems like to me that would get old pretty quick.
Well, they only tried to kill him twice.
Yeah.
I mean, what, you're going to hit him with a lawsuit?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Again. Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.
Only shot my ear off.
That's right.
I'm concerned about a lawsuit.
Yeah. But it just seems like, goodness, when is enough? And to them, never. is the answer.
Ever.
8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. When we come back, diversity is not our strength. Greatness is.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, April 6th. The Atlanta Braves split their 4-game series in Arizona with the Diamondbacks over the weekend after a 6-5 loss yesterday in 10 innings. The Braves now head out to Anaheim to open up a 3-game series with the Angels starting tonight. It'll be Chris Sale on the mound. He'll be opposed by Jose Soriano. First pitch is set for 9:38. You can listen to all of the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan and the Fan app. From college basketball, UCLA beat South Carolina on the women's side to become the national champions, 79-51 tonight. On the men's side, we get a great matchup as UConn and Michigan will tip off at 8:50. Michigan is the favorite for this game. UConn looking for their 3rd national championship in the last 4 seasons. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Join us Saturday, June 13th as the Atlanta Braves and Live Nation host the first ever Braves Country Fest, presented by Truist. A celebration of Braves baseball and country music featuring Cody Johnson and Ella Langley, along with Ernest and Mackenzie Carpenter, as well as musical performances and activities inside the Battery Atlanta. A portion of proceeds benefit the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Get your tickets at braves.com/Braves Country Fest.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog and our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
I'm so sick of all these cheesy lawyer billboards. And if you're driving back from the game, you might be too. If you're injured in a car crash, you don't hire a lawyer because they're sweet or strong or the biggest. You hire a lawyer who's recognized by their peers as one of the top lawyers in the state. You hire a lawyer who's going to listen to you, fight for you, and has the case results to prove it. That lawyer is me, Bruce Hagan, the people's lawyer. I've been proudly selected by my fellow lawyers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state, and for 21 consecutive years as Georgia's super lawyer. Hagan-law.com, Hagan-law.com.
Check your power bill from last summer. You want to repeat? Well, hey, it's the camera. I trust my friend Jeff at Peach State Windows. Cooling costs more than heat does, and your old windows let that heat in. Peach State Windows uses heat-reflective glass to keep cool air in, the heat out. 8 premium double-hung Energy Star windows installed for just $39.95. 0% financing for 12 months. PeachStateWindows.com. Here's the number, 770-485-8011. PeachStateWindows.com.
Great. Another auto repair. You took it to the dealer and now you're starting to panic. They say it's going to cost thousands and take weeks to complete. So don't fall for the tricks. Take it to Vicks. From simple oil changes and tires to transmission replacements and collision repair, you can count on Vicks Auto Care for honest, affordable service. Vicks Auto Care on Roswell Street in Marietta. Visit them today at VicksAutoCare.com. That's VIKS Autocare.com.
As the conflict in Iran continues, you need more than just flashy headlines to make sense of it all. You need the most trusted conservative voices in Atlanta and across the nation to break down the latest developments and what they really mean for the American people. More than just headlines. It's the conversation you need when it matters most. From Xtra 106.3 and streaming across the South on the Xtra 106.3 app.
You've probably been told over and over and over again, diversity is our strength. You've heard it a million times, and for the last 4 years, up until Trump was back in office, that is all you heard over and over again. Los, I do not believe that is the case.
Now, I love this piece of information. This was a New York Times study, and what it was basically was one of those studies where the information doesn't jive with what the standard of the New York Times is, and so it basically gets buried. And the logic of it tends to make a lot of sense. And so let me give you a quick rundown here.
Right.
It was a massive study, 30,000 people across America. And it was talking about, from multicultural festivals, political leadership. We're always told diversity is our strength. And as we've pointed out, no. It's like when you strive for excellence and you're amongst all these people that do, that's your strength. It's I don't want to say a uniformity of thought, but the fact that you want the best for your family, I want the best for my family, want the best for Bryce. It's like, so we all pull together.
That's right.
And we're not looking at it as, well, if only we had, and check a box, we need that one person too. It's like, no, if you share our mentality,
jump in.
I don't care where you're from, who you are, I don't care how old, come on board. Here it is. So here's what the study. The greater the diversity in a community, the fewer people vote. The less they volunteer, the less they give to charity and work on community projects. So it's in the most diverse communities, neighbors trust one another about half as much. Said the study also, with the largest ever on a civic engagement in America, found that virtually all measures of civic health are lower in more diverse settings. When people don't have anything in common, they're less giving.
Well, they just pull back.
They're less charitable.
Because
they're less friendly.
You're probably not as comfortable. You don't know, because you'll be accused of something if you accidentally get it wrong, if you say something wrong, if you mislabel them somehow or other.
Yeah.
So you're automatically less, I would say, less likely to go out and engage. You'll be more reluctant because you don't want to step in it. And that's what happens. That makes perfect sense to me. You said that was from the New York Times?
New York Times.
Well, that's surprising. I'm surprised that they would let that go.
This was back in 2007. And so it's like a little reminder when you get pushed to this stuff that the last time you had a massive study of this. And they're wondering, like, why do these communities not help one another? Because they don't have anything in common.
Yeah.
Now, that's the other portion of this. Does your community, what is your commonality? Like, it can be something as simple as, hey, a high school.
Education.
It's education. It's a neighborhood.
Football team.
Whatever it, if you find a community, it is because you all share similar interests. Now, doesn't mean that you're all having to say, well, we're all a Hispanic community. We're all a black community. We're all an Indian community. It doesn't have to be that. It is a shared view of what you're all trying to accomplish.
Shared values.
Rather than just diversity for the sake of diversity. That's right. Say it all the time. True wealth is living in a community that shares your values, whatever they are.
Yep.
If they share your values and it's a reflection of how you want to raise your family and it's productive for society, great. Awesome.
It's like when Slatoon calls in. He's a regular with the Kimmer Show. He'll once in a while call in for us. And he shares our values. I'm a Christian man. He's a Muslim man. I just had said, hey, I want to see and hear from more Muslim people condemning the craziness that's happening in the world. And I said we need to denaturalize and deport some of these people. He took it further. Slatoon was like, no, we don't. We need to get rid of them. He was ready to be done.
He's like, send them home.
Yeah, if not stronger.
Slatoon was like, they don't share my values. Send them home.
But that's what I'm saying, right? That's the beauty of it. Two people that are completely different that share the same values. That's the most important thing. What are the American values that we share? Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Do you agree with that? Good. We can be friends. Do you want our men and women into uniform when they're sent into a danger zone? Do you want them to come home safely after mission is accomplished? Yes. Good. You and I can be friends. We can talk. We have something in common. And that makes a good neighbor. That makes a good neighborhood.
And in fact, according to this study, that's now been out for the better part of 20 years. People are more giving. They're more charitable. They work together better.
Because they have commonalities.
Because they have commonalities. And it goes beyond just, well, look, we all look this way.
Dude, even down to like, and I just saw this happen in our neighborhood. There was a family. Dad has cancer. Mom's, trying to take on all the responsibility. And what'd the neighborhood do? Like, let's do meal trains. Churches jumped in. The ball teams in the community jumped in. Everybody's doing it. Why? Because we all share the value that we understand. Everybody knows somebody that's had cancer. We've all had that thing happen to somebody we love, or maybe it's you yourself. But that's the value, right? We value that family. We value the contributions that they make to our neighborhood or the community or the school. And everybody jumped on the meal train and helped out because we share the same values. It can be reduced down to taking people dinner at night. It's that simple.
More charitable.
That's right.
More giving.
That's when you said the charitable part. Because if you have nothing in common with the people next door to you, like, are you going to, if you don't know anything about them, maybe they're from a different culture, maybe they're from a different part of the world, are you going to take them Waffle House for dinner one night? Or might that offend them? You know what I mean?
I brought you the finest in ham.
That's exactly, like, we don't eat ham. Uh-oh.
Well, what's wrong?
Yeah, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all doing it all wrong. No, but that's the thing. I think you're probably less reluctant because you don't want to do anything to offend. So you just don't do anything. When you're in a community that shares your values, everybody jumps in and everybody jumps on board. I love that. Again, I'm still surprised that even 20 years ago, the New York Times would have done an article like that or allowed an article to be published once in a while. I guess even a blind squirrel, Los, once in a while, even a blind squirrel can stumble upon it.
Threw out some actual information from a study. 30,000.
Yeah.
That's not a small number in order to get a sample size of what a community is doing.
Yeah. 30,000, man. Most polling that all these networks run with, 1,200, exactly.
Yeah.
You're talking about 30,000 people?
30,000 people.
Tells you exactly what it is.
To be told that people that actually share values do better.
Might take care of one another.
Doesn't just have to be diversity for the sake of diversity. It's not like, well, do we have any Asian families that have moved into the neighborhood recently? We need some more Asian families.
That's right.
Listen, do they like Saturday football and hanging out?
Absolutely. Yeah, they do.
Okay, we're good.
How about cold beer?
Yeah. Here's my checklist.
That's exactly
Goes
right.
well before what you look like or what your religion is.
100%. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, Wait, Jake Tapper and Scott Jennings over on CNN have found common ground? No way. Next on Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Don't know about you, but I'm a little sick and tired of hearing from so many fools that the big problem in America is white supremacy. So I'm going to give you a few factoids, a few statistics to chew on, and then you tell me what a big problem white supremacy is. We'll start with black males. 6.5% of the U.S. population, 94% can't read proficiently at the age of 18. 63% don't work full-time. 72% illegitimacy rate. 33% convicted felons. 50% of the male prison population commit 60% of the murders, and white supremacy is the problem. Some stats on New York City. Who exactly is doing the shooting? Asians are the shooting perpetrators at a rate of 5 times that of white people. Hispanics, 78 times that of white people. Black, 272 times the shooting rate of white people. White supremacy is the problem. Too many statistics? Well, one more set. Let's cap it off with homicide rates for men per 100,000, the worst state, Missouri. 59 plus deaths for black men per 100,000 in Missouri. This is over the course of a year. Whites, 2.77 per 100,000. Michigan, 49 black men out of 100,000 men die of gunshot wounds in the last year. Whites, 1.52. Sorry, I didn't research the rates for Georgia. But remember, white supremacy is the problem. No, I don't think so. There might be another reason, but to talk about it would be racism. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Securing America.
War Secretary Pete Hegseth recently signed a new measure reversing a long-standing policy. The change will now allow service members to carry personal weapons onto military installations. Hegseth said in a video, troops shouldn't be prevented from exercising their personal Second Amendment rights.
Our warfighters defend the right of others to carry. They should be able to carry themselves.
Hegseth also cited recent shootings at bases across the country as proof that the change was needed.
In these instances, minutes are a lifetime. And our service members have the courage and training to make those precious short minutes count.
The secretary said that until now, it was virtually impossible to carry a personal weapon on base.
Unless you're training or unless you are a military policeman, you couldn't bring your own firearm for your own personal protection onto post. Well, that's no longer.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
People ask me this question a lot. Yes, but what was it before? Let me explain. I say 84% of Republicans approve of the job President Trump is doing right now. You say, yes, but what was it at this point a year ago? 92%, by the way. If I tell you our Fox News survey finds 25% of voters feel optimistic that the economy will get better next year, that's useful. But if I add that optimism is down 7 points since the start of the war with Iran, then a story starts to unfold. Lately, the president has gloated his job approval among MAGA Republicans is nearly 100%. I might say yes, but only 66% of Republicans consider themselves part of the MAGA movement right now. That number was 77% a year ago. Now, what hasn't changed is our website, foxnews.com/poll. I'm Dana Blanton, and that's your Poll Paris.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Is there an end to the conflict with Iran in sight? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Some countries in that region are trying to mediate a deal.
The AP and other outlets are reporting that Egyptian, Pakistani, and Turkish mediators have presented the United States and Iran with a proposed 45-day ceasefire plan that includes opening the Strait of Hormuz.
That's Fox's Matt Finn in Dubai.
The Strait of Hormuz has become a key issue for any peace deal, as Iran is wreaking havoc on commerce and law-abiding ships trying to pass through that strait. Also last night, President Trump warning Iran of an 8 p.m. deadline tonight for Iran to come to the table, or there could be many U.S. attacks tomorrow. The president writing Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it.
Now, there will be a news conference from President Trump this afternoon expected to detail the rescue mission for the Americans stuck in Iran after U.S. fighter jet was shot down.
The Iranian regime was putting out an award of $60,000 for his capture, telling people to go to the area. But he had activated that emergency beacon, and he was hiding in a mountain ridge, we are told. That's when that special operations force got the call Saturday morning to start sending planes to Iran and start this mission to rescue him. Now, the president says that he was injured, but again, everyone made it out of Iranian territory.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. An Israeli airstrike today killed another senior Iranian military leader. This will be a record-setting day in space, seeing a side of the moon no one's ever seen.
Artemis 2 preparing for a lunar flyby where they're going to soar as close as 6,000 miles above the moon's surface as they attempt to go further than any human has ever gone before. Now, the crew's expected to lose contact with the Earth at some point today for about a half an hour when they're scheduled to be taking new photos and video of the far side of the moon.
That's Todd Pyro. America's listening.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Does your friend listen to an old station whose news gives them the blues? Set your friend right. Tell him to download the Xtra 1063 app.
It's Monday morning, y'all, as you head on into the office or head back to the house after you drop the kids off to school. Whatever you got going on, we are just grateful that you're joining the Morning Extra here on Xtra 1063. So much to talk about. We have so much good news. We got a lot of things that we want to get to that will probably surprise you about a couple people that wouldn't necessarily see eye to eye, seeing eye to eye. We'll talk about that here in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Can I give you some bad news?
Oh, I thought I was just talking about good news.
No. It's more like information.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So the class action lawsuit is moving forward on the McRib.
Oh, because it ain't actually rib?
Yeah, apparently people are not happy that the McRib actually is not any rib at all.
I gotta try it still. I heard it's all right.
Also, there was an issue with burgers that have been left alone for 14 years looking the exact
same way. They don't
spoil.
Spoil, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. But normally, like food you leave out, it'll, like an apple, it'll wilt. And regular food.
God's work occurs to it.
Yeah, and then you leave
not to the Big Mac.
Or the French fries. French fries, too. Because I have found French fries, like, that someone has dropped in my car, if you're eating quick, and you find the French fry.
Just heat them up.
Weeks and weeks later. You totally could. Weeks and weeks later, and it looks just the exact same. I've gotten to where we don't eat a lot of fast food, just if I'm being completely honest. We kind of steer clear of fast food most of the time. I'm not saying never, but if we do, we try to go get the Lord's Chicken. Or
Lord's Chicken. Also, my younger daughter really likes the signature sandwich at Zaxby's.
Okay, yep.
So it takes a little more time. It's a little different.
Yeah,
but that's what they eat.
Zaxby's.
Kava.
I enjoy. What is it? Kava's good. Yes, I do like kava. But kava it doesn't seem as much like fast food because
it's like a Chipotle.
Yeah,
I guess considering
would you call it medium speed food? I don't know because you got to go in typically.
I've seen at Chipotle when they cook the food in front of you.
Yeah,
they cook it, then they store it, and then you get it,
and it's fresh. It's not been frozen forever. Yeah, I like those places. I dig.
I hear the timer beeping at McDonald's a lot.
Yeah, ding, fries are done.
Put it in there. Well, you just take the whole thing as a burger. You stick it in there.
Yeah,
hit the button.
Yeah, I try to steer clear of that stuff if I possibly can. So
I ate enough of it as a kid.
Yeah, I do. Boy, let me tell you,
man.
But I think it was different then too, don't you? Don't you think it's changed some?
I think so. The 2 cheeseburger Happy Meal,
dude,
that was a big player when I was like 6, 7 years old.
The jam, dude.
We were also talking about this over the weekend about the cheap meals we would eat in college. The reason why we brought this up, spring break for a lot of people out there. And in college, when I was playing ball, spring break was the most awesome time because you would get a stipend because school was closed. So they would hand you, like, let's say $300 or $400 for the week, and that's what you're supposed to feed yourself on because none of the facilities are open. Well, if you ate cheaply for that week, you pocketed like $300.
Attaboy.
And so I went to that Wendy's dollar menu.
Son, and just tore it down.
For $3.98.
Dude, you got your belly full.
Man, I was happy with putting like another $300 in my pocket.
So
it was a great week during spring break.
So my son is kind of along these lines because they have spring break at Augusta University. This is their spring break week, and they kind of line it up knowing that the Masters is going to be, take over the town. Well, there's a thing when you file your taxes called the Augusta rule. Because of people renting their houses in Augusta for that week, there's a certain tax break or tax advantage you can take advantage of, or tax thing you can take advantage of. The guy that owns his house, the family that owns his house, him and his roommate all have to be out this week.
Yep.
They had to clear out. He had to clear out one drawer in the top of his dresser. He had to leave so much space in his closet, and he's physically sleeping on another teammate's couch because their house has been rented. And I think they got like $4,500 for a little 3-bedroom house. I think they're 11 minutes from Augusta National, and the entire town does it. So he's doing something very similar to that. And they gave him, because of that, they didn't charge us the rent for the entire month because they're making so much. And they gave him like $250, almost like you're talking about, so he could feed himself. Yeah, just as a thank you for working with us on this.
If only there was a dollar menu that still existed.
I know, right?
Wendy's is good too.
It's a big.
I think that's top tier fast food.
Yeah, that square patty,
or even their chicken sandwiches. I actually like Wendy's chicken
sandwiches.
Good
chicken wrap.
What is it again?
Their chicken wrap.
I've never had that.
Now, I haven't had Wendy's in
but you
a long time. But man, that
changed the a little bit.
3-4 years. Dollar menu,
dude, killing it.
Like the woman who worked the drive-through would see me like oh hey, you're back, how's it going? I was like, yes I am, I'll see you tomorrow.
That's right. Absolutely. I don't know what 250 is going to get Jacob, as far as food in and around Augusta, but because they always go to the Mexican restaurant, and that's usually $10-12 whatever little dish he gets, which is like just rice and vegetables and grilled chicken steak. He doesn't get the shrimp because he's allergic to that, but that's $10, let's say 15 with tax and tip and all that, whatever. I don't know, man. It might do him a week, $250, maybe somewhere around there. Otherwise, I guess I'll pick up the rest.
Yeah,
of the
you got the other portion of the tab.
He's got my credit card.
Los, were you a Taco Bell guy in college?
No, never. Man, oh my God! First off, so insulting, and the reason why, I'm in Texas.
Yeah,
Texans, we don't eat Taco Bell.
Yeah,
you know who eats Taco Bell? People who live in Oklahoma and other Mexican poor people. All right, like. There's so many. You can go to Taco Cabana. Now, you don't have them here anymore. You used to have one, and then you ran it out of town, and that's your fault, Atlanta.
Devils.
Taco Cabana would give you the best Mexican food relatively quickly, and they would do late night. Some of them were 24 hours. You could kill it. You could get their bacon and egg breakfast tacos, 99 cents a piece. They were the best breakfast tacos that you could get. And so nobody ever went to Taco Bell. Ever. Ever.
Are they saying there is a... Oh, no, this is Cabana's Grill, not Taco Cabana.
No.
Yeah. See, because I just did a search for Taco Cabana. I was trying to figure out where the old one was. And this is under their Google search. It shows one in Jonesboro Road in Forest Park, but that's Cabana's Grill, so I don't think that's the same thing, even though it comes up in the Google search.
Here's the Monster Breakfast Burrito, a 10-inch tortilla loaded with refried beans, chorizo, eggs, bacon, hash brown, shredded cheese.
Yes,
Here's their breakfast burritos. Here's their breakfast plates.
Yes,
Here's their breakfast tacos.
Yes to all those.
All of this stuff. And you bring up Taco Bell
to a Texas made? You can't do that, Bryce.
That's an oversight on my part. I apologize.
Apology needed.
It's like asking somebody from Memphis or St. Louis, have you tried the new McRib?
That's right. No, I haven't, because it's made out of the same thing you make yoga mats out of. No, I don't want any of that. No.
Yeah, but I can throw down a quesarito from Taco Bell.
Dude, I love Taco Bell. If I'm going down and dirty fast food, I do like Taco Bell still to this day. I don't do it often, but once in a while. I pig out at Taco Bell. Once in a while.
So why don't you get an Italian and be like, so have you tried Mr. Gaddy's yet?
Have you?
Or I tell you what, let's do it this way. Why don't you walk down the hall when Nick Cellini and Chris Domino are getting ready to start their show, and you ask them about the all-you-can-eat breadsticks
and salad
at the best Italian restaurant you know.
At Fazoli's?
Dude, Fazoli's is fast food Italian.
You ask them about that Olive Garden.
They would probably beat you to death if you asked them about those Italian men down the hall.
They might have sticks and just pull them out.
They might send you to talk to the fishes. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine somewhere in there. They would take exception to that. They would not like you for very long. Or they would beat some sense into you until you got better and you did better, and then they would like you. That's my guess.
See, but I also like pineapple on pizza, so I'm screwed either way.
Yeah, you know what? My son does too, because he was allergic to everything and he couldn't have anything. So the one thing he could have growing up, we had found this one pizza place, and the thing he could have on it was pineapple. So he got used to it, and he loves pineapple on his pizza too. I don't dig it. I love pineapple, just not on pizza. Warm pineapple just doesn't. Nah, I don't think so. 404-741-1230. If you would like to insult anybody the way we have this morning, whether Italians or Mexicans or anybody else, we'll get them all.
I just asked Cellini through text message, what is the best old country Italian restaurant in Atlanta? Let's see what he has to say.
See what he says. While we wait for that, let's get to the first thing to know.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Xtra, Tug Los, deep in the story, breaking news that's bold.
I can't imagine two people being more different than Jake Tapper and Scott Jennings.
It's nice when they agree, I guess.
It's surprising, if nothing else.
Considering that these are two of your, I guess you can call them your CNN heavyweights. I mean, you check out Scott Jennings for what he brings up, and Jake Tapper is one of their, let's face it, Jake Tapper.
He's questionable.
When it comes to the media, he is the guy who, he's calling balls and strikes, right? I mean, he's the one who
That's
told
what
us
they
all
tell us, yeah.
about Joe Biden actually being broken as a human. Jake made some money on it, but just what it was.
He didn't tell you in time.
No.
He told you when the coast was clear.
He told you afterwards when he knew, I get to still be in the club by telling you all about this now that we put Joe Biden out to pasture, did the left, now I can tell you all about how broken his brain was and wandering naked around the White House at night. Remember when we would tell those stories and people were like,
Nobody believed it. Nobody believed it.
They would find him naked in the White House at night.
Just can you imagine those poor ladies and gentlemen who was part of the staff that maintained the area, probably did that late in the evening.
There's Naked Joe.
And Naked Joe just runs up in there.
He's just walking around, not sure where he is.
Can you imagine? That seems like something out of a movie scene. No, it seems real.
So here's the moment, and I like this. This is Scott Jennings, and he's pointing out operationally with what has gone on in Iran to save our down. In this case, what was it? The officer.
He was the weapons officer.
Weapons officer. In order to get that man,
the backseater, if you will,
out of that situation in Iran, with. I'm curious how many of the townspeople, the regular people that were told to take part in this. We do know that there were regular soldiers that were trying to track this man down. So this is Scott Jennings as he points something out that I think is wildly obvious, and Jake Tapper actually didn't fight him on it.
This story of us rescuing this airman is nothing short of incredible, and what the United States military is able to pull off. I mean, it's just amazing. So,
we're the only ones.
I mean, to say that we're thankful for this military operation this morning, it doesn't even capture how incredible it is.
The baseline.
Yeah.
You can have people who are completely on different ends of the spectrum.
Which those two are.
But Tapper, it's like, we're the only ones who can do this. And you should take pride in that. No matter what end you're on.
How come it's only one?
I know.
He's the only one I saw. I mean, maybe there were others. I don't spend a lot of time with network news. I do try to check out some Sunday shows a little bit just to see what those fools are saying most of the time. I didn't see anybody going along with it like that. I heard discussion back and forth, but I didn't see anybody go, yeah, we're the only ones that can pull it off. Jake Tapper's the only one that said it. Credit to him. I don't like him. I don't agree with him most often. I think he's low down. I think he's yellow-bellied, all that.
I can disparage my own. I did some theater as a theater kid in middle school. My oldest daughter is into it. My youngest daughter is. My wife did it into college.
Is that what that is?
What's that?
Is that what that is? Jake Tapper being a theater, just playing the part?
No. When you're the theater kid, you look at the jocks as a bunch of morons. All right? The left is a bunch of theater kids. They look at the military as a bunch of morons. They look at these people as in a very disparaging way because they're the enlightened ones. So when you then get a scenario in which case the military comes through in amazing fashion, there's a portion of the left that can't even wrap their mind around it. Jake Tapper, again, he's the one who's like, we're the only ones who can. because he doesn't view things as a theater kid.
Mm-hmm.
The theater kids look at the jocks, look at the military, look at law enforcement, look at all of them as, y'all are idiots.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Morons. I don't know what it is that Jake Tapper is. You know, I can't. I think
he's an opportunist.
That's a great. Yes, I think that's it. Yeah, you're exactly right. I that's the best summary I've seen or heard yet, because that's exactly what he is.
Which way is the wind blowing?
Yeah, that's the way I'm going.
Is it my next contract?
Yeah.
Will this help me sell books? Which way am I going here?
Will this make me look less leftist? You know?
Yeah, do I seem less ideological?
Yeah, just for a moment.
Which, fine, good for him.
Just for a moment.
Because not all of his brethren are saying the same thing.
No, I agree with you. And that had to be a blow. Going back to the operation altogether, it had to be a blow to the IRGC, who's effectively running Iran at this point, or at least a smattering of them, because they're scattered all over the country. Because they had bounties out for this man, $60,000, which is probably 8 or 10 times what the normal Iranian makes in a year, and nobody bought. Nobody said, yep, I want the IRGC to find this man. Now, I'm not saying no one was trying to. I would never say that. I'm sure there were. But the fact that they couldn't, even though they were blasting this message across radio and television, internet's down, they couldn't do it that way. But radio and television, they were able to do it that way. And nobody? Nobody even gave you a hint as to where the guy was?
Well, the United States has something called Apaches.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, regular soldiers on the ground trying to track a downed airman don't seem to respond to Apaches very well.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, they tend to end up with a lot of holes.
Yeah, several, no doubt.
And for some reason, a lot of people went, yeah, I'm not going out there. They've got Apaches.
Yeah, but, I mean, you could do it from your house. You don't have to leave your house, you know? You pick up a cell phone and be like, hey, man, I saw where the dude parachuted down. It's in my neighborhood. Go get him. And nobody did that. So I'm maybe it's a fault in me to think that there was some good there, that those people saw what the Americans are trying to do in eliminating the Ayatollah and eliminating this horrible regime that's run this country for so many years, that they're like, I'm glad they're doing this. And I've actually seen a lot of Iranians on social media talk about it. We have a friend of the show who's married to an Iranian woman, and they talk about, hey, we want them to finish the job.
Yes.
So that's what gives me the hope that they were saying. Other than Apaches probably helped too.
Well, and the problem of this all is that you've had the Iranians that have taken down the internet for the better part of 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know, because they've put themselves back in the Stone Age. We don't really know what's going on as far as a mentality on the ground. Now, I would imagine our CIA probably has a pretty good idea.
They definitely do.
But as far as a general consensus of what the view is, we know what Iranians living here believe. They're on our side.
Yeah,
but what's going on with the people that are on the ground in the city that are dealing with this stuff? I'm sure our CIA assets know. But as far as our media, blackout.
Clueless.
Blackout.
Absolutely. They could know. That's the thing. Our media probably could know and choose not to, because they can present it a different way if they're so inclined to do so. And it does seem like they are at this point. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
Nino's.
That's a place here in town?
He's
from Nick? Is that Baseball Jesus or Nick?
I'm asking Nick. He said probably that place on Cheshire Bridge, which the Italian one on Cheshire Bridge shows up
Nino's.
as
Okay.
Nino's Italian restaurant. I just asking for old country Italian food.
Yeah, not Olive Garden.
So not Fazoli's.
Not Fazoli's, fast food Italian. Like in Fort Oglethorpe, where I grew up. It was always on Battlefield Parkway in Fort Oglethorpe. We'd swing through there, get some breadsticks.
Not bad.
It is not bad. It's not good Italian like that, though, I bet. Leftism is a disease of the soul. Next on Extra 106.3.
You've been warned. If the Dems win the midterms, the border opens back up. Impeachment comes down, and you get more riots in the streets. Now's the time to hunker down and vote red. Count on Extra 106.3 to bring you the stories that matter from the most trusted voices in the country. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Oh no, what is that sound?
It's our rejection detection system. It's showing that several men across Georgia are being denied intimacy by their partners due to ED.
How can this be?
Well, it's more common than you think. As men age, their bodies change. And unfortunately, once they get over 50, some things don't work like they used to.
So what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. We need to get them to Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He can fix ED problems.
But how?
At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, they are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimex to create an erection and more.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? Guys, it won't get better on its own. When it's not hard, it's really hard. But I can help you today. Call us at Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911 or learn more about us online at tbtofga.com.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
I think we all know that one person who is, who's out the moment their head hits the pillow. I hate those people. I'm really jealous of them because here's the reality. If better sleep was part of your New Year's resolution, you're not alone. Most of us struggle to fall asleep, stay asleep, or wake up feeling rested. But I found Z Factor from Relief Factor, and it has helped me a ton. Z Factor is more than just melatonin. It uses 4 natural ingredients to calm your mind so you ease into sleep faster, you stay asleep through the night, and you wake up refreshed without that groggy sleep aid hangover. George wrote in, he said, I use it every night with great results. Charlotte said, my body feels so much better. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Glenn. If better sleep is your goal for the new year, make Z Factor a part of that plan. Right now, you can save 46% on your first order, just $19.95 for a 30-day supply. Call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800-4-RELIEF, or visit relieffactor.com. Start the new year rested. Fall asleep quicker and stay asleep with Z Factor.
Looking for affordable family fun in Atlanta? April 24th through 26th, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic presented by Venture is the perfect day out, and kids 15 and under get in free with a ticketed adult. Watch golf legends compete at TBC Sugarloaf, enjoy great food, and experience fun for all ages. Make memories together while supporting local charities. Get your tickets today at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. That's MitsubishiElectricClassic.com. April 24th through 26th at TBC Sugarloaf.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, April 6th, and here are your headlines. New federal data shows the U.S. added 178,000 jobs in March, a sharp rebound after losing 133,000 jobs the month before in February. The unemployment rate also fell to 4.3%, with analysts saying the labor market remains stable despite global uncertainty. Spring break travel remains heavy across Metro Atlanta following a busy weekend, with large crowds moving through Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Officials say tens of thousands of travelers pass through TSA checkpoints, and drivers are still seeing increased traffic as many are set to return home this upcoming weekend. And finally, in Forsyth County, commissioners are partially lifting a moratorium on new housing developments, allowing some rezoning applications to move forward. Leaders say the move comes after rapid growth, with more changes possible before the full ban expires next month. Today's weather is partly cloudy with a high of 71 and a low of 49. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
I do find this a bit fascinating. I bet you will too. The Great Satan, as America's called by many in Iran, especially in leadership positions.
The Go-Bear?
He's the Great Satan? What?
I mean, sometimes.
What? I had no idea. That's disappointing, I'll be honest.
The Great Go-Bear, the Great Satan?
The Great Satan
It's
Go-Bear.
like a hit piece.
Yeah, that's right. No, but this is the niece and grandniece of the Iranian general Soleimani has been arrested by ICE while living these lavish lifestyles in Los Angeles. That's a cover of the New York Post from yesterday. And these two young women are not doing what women in Iran had to do, like their dress. They didn't. Look at this, Los. That's the way they're living in L.A.
They're living very large.
For the Great Satan, it seems like they're sure enjoying the Americas.
I just have a suggestion.
Yeah?
If you happen to be in a country, and if your legal status, we'll just call it tenuous.
Yep.
All right, you weren't born here. You're here, kind of a guest. Maybe you shouldn't talk crap about the country
while living it up.
While living it up here.
Yeah. Their social media is...
Maybe you shouldn't think that, I don't know. First Amendment applies to you as generally as it applies to me.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
Now, if they would have had children here, it would have, crazy enough, under birthright citizenship, which needs to be changed. And that's why I know I'm such an advocate for it. And I think President Trump is. Obviously, he's taking it to the Supreme Court. And I bet Los is too. Because those people shouldn't have the same rights as you and I that are born here in the United States of America. They shouldn't. As they sit and call America the Great Satan and partying like rock stars. I was blown away. I was really actually surprised when I saw that a little bit. I was like, hold up, hang on. You're telling me
you're going to get run out of this country because you couldn't keep your mouth shut?
But on top of that, the fact that you call it the Great Satan,
yes,
you subscribe to it, yet you come here and you're living it up like every American wants to because you got the money to, because your family is taking it from poor Iranians.
Are you telling me that these people that are sitting in power and luxury are hypocrites?
You mean they don't believe what they actually say? What?
Oh, how weird.
I know, it is very surprising. But that's the mentality, I suppose. And, if you look close enough, you find that mentality a lot of places on the left. It's something that I think Javier Milei has figured out. And I was very impressed by what he had to say about it. I want you to hear him. He's talking about the political left, and I had never heard the way he described it before, the description for the behavior. And some of the things that we've talked about, not just the rotten ideas. He says it's deeper than that. Listen.
At one point, I thought being on the left was a mental problem. The empirical evidence is so overwhelming, it never worked anywhere, and they refused to accept it. Therefore, I thought it was a mental problem. I mean, some kind of block that doesn't even let them see the numbers. They are enemies of numbers. They hate numbers. I don't know if lefties hate water or numbers more. I mean, I don't know if they hate bathing more than numbers. But what I discovered is that being on the left is a disease of the soul. The left is built on envy, hatred, resentment, unequal treatment before the law. They are very violent. And since they have no way or arguments to answer, they go for physical violence. Lefties always, let's say, resort to physical violence and all kinds of violent manifestations because they are unable to refute the arguments.
Dude, he knocked it out of the park. Everything he said was correct.
We'll be able to talk about this more during the week, but Nate Silver, now I don't know where he got his numbers, his data. A lot of people were asking this question. It was showing about the amount of engagements and discussions that are on X and how much there is in terms of red Republican versus blue Democrat. And as he's basically pointing out, well, it looks like X has become an echo chamber for the right. I think the more important part that people are pointing out is, well, no, now that it's a free discussion site, your discussion points don't work as well here.
Yeah, they're rejected.
Because you have to actually be able to argue them and have them make sense.
Which is what Millet said. They can't.
They can't.
They're absolutely unable to do it because they've been tried over and over again, and they fail over and over again. And yet they keep going back to the well. And that's when he said it's beyond a mental issue. You should be able to reason the fact that you try something over and over again and it never works and then you continue to try it. That may be insanity. But it's deeper than that. It's down to the soul, to the core of who you are. And I've never thought about it that way before, but it absolutely makes sense to me that you have been corrupted because of your politics down to the soul because you're willing to harm people. You're willing to hurt people. You're willing to shoot at people. Does it happen on the right? Yeah. I'm not saying that it is just a leftist issue, the violence, but overwhelmingly it happens way more on the left.
We had a study that we got into, I think maybe 6 months ago, and it was talking about the diversity on each end of the spectrum. That when you moved to the right, the tent got bigger. There was more diversity of discussion within there. Whereas when you moved to the left, it got slimmer. The things you were allowed to say to remain in the tribe. But if you said it, that was going to be a problem for you. I like that because somebody pointed out, and this is, again, off of Nate Silver's, the amount of discussions that are happening on X. Somebody points out when it showed, hey, the blue discussions have nowhere near as much as engagement as the red discussions. Somebody points out, that's just what you get when the worldview is more popular than the one you have. More people are engaging with it. But it comes down, if you happen to be talking about something that has a more, a larger amount of thought, a larger tent, more discussion points off of it, well, then it creates more engagement, more impressions.
And you ultimately get to the best answer.
Whereas your slimmer worldview does not, because it's slimmer.
And you're not able to challenge.
It's Callista Flockhart skinny.
That's right. You're not able to challenge because if you do challenge, then you're labeled.
You're out.
You're labeled something. You know, you're labeled some sort of ist or some sort of ism. Yeah, one of those names will be, one of those endings will be put on the end of you.
But I like Millet talking about that. It's like if you can't debate it, then it all goes to violence.
And we've seen that happen.
It's just anger. It's I strike out at you.
And you see that at the bought and paid for rallies, that even though they're paid to be there for a couple hours, they can't expand upon what it is that they believe.
It's like the audio we played last week. We played the guy from the first rally that we had, the No Kings rally, where he's painted his face orange, he's wearing a crown.
Yeah.
And when the woman starts asking about a lack of any voting for Kamala Harris, what does he tell her? You don't want to go there with me.
Yeah, that's right.
He's threatening.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's showing his teeth at her.
Yeah.
Because he can't
Don't ask me the question.
It's like, you don't want to go there with me.
Yeah.
We're done here. And you're like, she's like, why?
I just want to know what you think.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what he thinks.
Explain. No, a lack of primary votes.
That's right. He's a guy that will lash out, just like the people that are lashing out at those rallies all the time, the people that end up on golf courses shooting at presidents, that kind of thing. Stephen A. Smith is a guy that I don't always agree with, but he is one of the very few on the left that will open up a discussion, and he is able to talk about it. But the difference is he'll call out the left when they're wrong, which nobody else is willing to do on that side.
I think Stephen A. Smith is trying to find his sea legs. I think he's trying to find exactly a direction, a tempo by which to do what he's doing, which is does sports, obviously,
and politics.
When he does politics, he's trying to criticize each side. Okay, that only works for so long. You got to pick a lane. Now, you can try and do it as I'm the mealy-mouthed libertarian. Well, then, at that point, it comes across as weak sauce. Like, you don't want to be part of the real dialogue here. You don't want to be part of the fight. But I think that he's trying to create this lane where I'm a Democrat that criticizes Democrats. Like, I don't know how that's going to work either. We're talking about a lack of diversity in thought. So I want you to hear this. Here's him with Sage Steele. And here how he's pointing out how he views the Democrats.
I find Rubio to be an adult in the room who would do what he thinks is in the best interest of America, not for his little clique of people that he gets along with and stuff like that at the expense of the American
Do you
people.
think it's because of what he has already been through politically?
Rubio?
Yes.
Well,
I mean,
just think
he's
it's his
been
experience.
out there longer.
But I just think he knows better.
Yeah.
Like, he's been there. He's experienced. He knows what he's dealing with when he's dealing with these senators. You know, you got the senator, I forgot which one it was, that was like, I think it was Chris Murphy, if I remember correctly, from Connecticut or whatever, but he was like, I would not have voted to confirm you had I known. And Rubio looked at him and said, I consider that a compliment. You know, I don't blame him.
He's
for
amazing.
It's like, stop. You know what? This man is your colleague, your contemporary on the Senate. You know he's a reputable individual who's earned his stripes, deserves to be the Secretary of State. Let's keep it a buck here. This is Marco Rubio that we're talking about here, okay? The only thing that you could say about Marco Rubio with an insulting voice is that Trump called them Little Marco when they were running against one another in 2016.
Listen.
That's about it.
Listen, he will take those shots when he can.
There is nothing about Rubio's credential that anybody can question. He is qualified. I will openly admit, I am not. I am far from qualified. But it don't take much to beat the Democrats.
You're saying
It don't take much to beat the
a lot there.
Democrats.
You're far from qualified, but you think you could win.
I do believe I could win.
And you would run as a Democrat.
Yes.
He points out, y'all are so weak. I'm not qualified, and I can beat you.
I can beat y'all. And I think he's right. I think he could win too. On the Democrat side, you know, just common sense, showing common sense. I think people would, even on the left, I think there's enough people there that aren't hard left, that are looking for a home. People that are saying they're leaving the Democrat Party because there's no common sense left. I think he could rally enough. I mean, I guess it depends on what office he's running for, too. President, that'd be tougher.
No chance.
Because, no chance that way. But if you're running for a state senator's job, a job like that, I think he could do that. Where does he live in Connecticut? Does he live in New York?
So that's what I was curious about, because he does have, Stephen A. Smith is really well off.
Which is why in the world would you want to do that?
He owned a home in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a place in Florida. It looks like his primary residence now is in the state of Florida. And unless you're, a state senator or senator, you can actually have to live where you say you're going to live.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes more sense if he was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, like it's purplish, yeah.
And they decided to primary Fetterman with him.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me.
I don't think he would want to do that. I don't think he would
I don't think he would want to do that either.
Yeah.
But that I think is most of this, for somebody who's making as much as he is, I don't think there are a lot of Dan Bonginos in this world. I don't think there's a lot of Pete Hegseths in this world. Stephen A. Smith is one of, if not one of the highest paid sports personalities in the entirety of the country. I think all of this is bluster.
Yeah. Well, look, it's getting him the attention that he wants, right?
Sure, yeah.
He's talking with important people. He's talking with people with stature. Sage Steele, everybody knows her. They work together at ESPN, so it probably makes sense that they have a conversation. But, he's showing up in places that, look, he shows up on Fox News all the time. If you're a Fox News fan or watcher, you see him there. I think name recognition alone, if he's doing like if he's running for a state senator in wherever he chooses, I think with name recognition and common sense, he could get past the primary and potentially pull off a win. I think his common sense and his reputation as far as who he is and the fact that a lot of people just go in, especially those races, and I don't know, I'm just voting for the R or the D. That would add a layer because everybody knows who he is.
I just think there's a lot of, if we had to get to the point where it's substance, I don't know if there's a lot of substance there.
He even said it. I'm not qualified.
I think there's a whole lot of, I'm going to talk about things loudly and with a lot of energy.
And you've said it before, you don't think he's running to begin with.
No,
why
never.
would you give up?
Why?
Yeah.
No way.
And then to go in and potentially lose? Dude,
Listen,
that would be a shot to the ego and to the reputation.
Listen, my playoffs are a lot better when I have Stephen A. Smith at halftime.
Yeah.
I don't need him in the Senate.
Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. I'm with you. I don't think he's doing it either, but I think he could. If in the right scenario, right situation. Los says it's about to get crazy. I don't know what that means. I just know at the end of the show and in the 9 o'clock hour, things get freaking crazy.
Get ready.
Buckle yourself in. The craziness is next on Extra.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, April 6th. The Atlanta Braves split their 4-game series in Arizona with the Diamondbacks over the weekend after a 6-5 loss yesterday in 10 innings. The Braves now head out to Anaheim to open up a 3-game series with the Angels starting tonight. It'll be Chris Sale on the mound. He'll be opposed by Jose Soriano. First pitch is set for 9:38. You can listen to all of the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan and the Fan app. From college basketball, UCLA beat South Carolina on the women's side to become the national champions, 79-51 tonight. On the men's side, we get a great matchup as UConn and Michigan will tip off at 8:50. Michigan is the favorite for this game. UConn looking for their 3rd national championship in the last 4 seasons. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Attention, Antifa, human traffickers, cartels, and woke DAs. With Chris Carr as governor, you won't stand a chance.
I'm Chris Carr. In Georgia, we will prosecute you. It's easy for politicians to talk tough, but I'm the only Republican who put gangs, human traffickers, and Antifa behind bars. I even fought Obama, Biden, and Abrams in court and won. If you're attacking our police or our freedoms, I'll be your worst nightmare.
Chris Carr doesn't just talk tough. Carr had the courage, brought the cases, and locked up the criminals. He has more than 120 gang convictions. Over 200 human trafficking victims have been rescued and seized enough fentanyl to kill 3.5 million Georgians. Carr's taking on the woke left, making crime illegal again. As governor, Chris Carr will keep up the fight and never back down. Chris Carr, governor. Real fights, real wins, real conservative. Paid for by Carr for Georgia.
You've worked hard to build your investments, but are they positioned the right way from a tax perspective? Because it's not just what you make, it's what you keep. Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Many investors don't realize that their portfolios may be creating unnecessary tax exposure. Capital gains, required minimum distributions, inefficient account placement can quietly reduce your returns, especially as you approach retirement. At Nicholas Wealth Management, we help clients evaluate whether their investments are structured in a tax-efficient way, looking beyond performance to understand how taxes impact income today and your legacy tomorrow. Are your assets in the right accounts? Are there opportunities to reduce further tax liability? Is your strategy aligned with your long-term retirement goals? Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 678-990-8500. Schedule a complimentary review. That's 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com. Nicholas Wealth Management, helping you keep more of what you've worked so hard to build.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
Great, another auto repair. You took it to the dealer and now you're starting to panic. They say it's going to cost thousands and take weeks to complete. So don't fall for the tricks. Take it to Vicks. From simple oil changes and tires to transmission replacements and collision repair, you can count on Vicks Auto Care for honest, affordable service. Vicks Auto Care on Roswell Street in Marietta. Visit them today at VicksAutoCare.com. That's VIKS Autocare.com.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
It's tax refund season here in Georgia, and a lot of folks are deciding how to spend it. Let me suggest something practical, something you use every day, your air conditioning system. With an earlier and warmer projected spring, your air conditioner is about to start working real hard. If your system is older and inefficient, this might be a smart time to upgrade to a high-efficiency Carrier system to save on your utilities. When you combine proven Carrier technology technology with an experienced team like at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, you're investing in long-term comfort and efficiency. Right now, you can save up to $1,700 in rebates, plus 60 months 0% financing on qualified systems, making a new system more affordable than you might think. Before that refund disappears on something temporary, invest in comfort that lasts for years. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com today. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering carrier comfort for the world we share.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I love what you do. I love your show. Love your listeners. And just remember, one team, one fight. This nation actually is special for a reason. If we lose it, there's no more hope in the world. I truly believe that.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Tug and Los on Extra 106.3.
I'm saying I like it.
No, I know you do, and I appreciate that.
I keep wanting to say I need to give a shout out, and then I'm like, you're right. Let me give a country shout out. But then you're right.
Country call out.
A country call out sounds a lot better, but I did say feels kind of like a little bit of like, hey, I just finished on the grill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Clarence!
Hey, country call out over here.
Country call out. Your food's ready.
Your steak ready.
Yeah.
Come on, get it. But you do got a country call out for somebody.
Yeah, it's our friend Harvey.
Harvey, what's up,
our new
Harvey?
friend Harvey. So met him at the volleyball tournament. And so,
Harvey Danger, come on.
So I'm planning on just saying like, hey, thank you for all the support that you gave us yesterday. That was really cool. It's fun when other parents on other teams, other clubs, or even within your club but a different team come and cheer for your girls. And so we always try and make it a point to reciprocate that and go watch some of the other teams, the other people.
Without a doubt. And then Harvey also said he's been partaking in the podcast.
Checking out the podcast. I'm hoping volleyballed that my wife and I get a chance to do another one hopefully this evening. But we will see. It's like we wanted to wait till after qualifying season was over. Now that we're done with that, it's like, all right, let's get one together because now we're getting into tryout season. Mm-hmm. This is where all the parents start getting really weird.
Well, it's because nobody knows what the other teammates are doing.
Where are we going?
Yeah,
what's going to happen? Who's doing what?
And if there's a couple of kids that are really good and they're like, hey, we want to make a move, we want to do something a little different, and not everybody fits that mold, it doesn't mean you don't like them. You're just reluctant to say. I remember this with baseball. Same kind of thing.
Let me tell you what happened over the weekend because you will recognize this. Oh, you're making a face of like, oh, God.
I was like, oh, gosh.
So within our club, my younger daughter's club, over at A5, within our age group that my older daughter used to partake in, obviously she's moved, she's not doing 15s, she's doing 16s. Our 15-2s beat our 15-1s to open up Saturday play.
Wow.
In 2.
Goodness, dude.
What do you think that caused?
A shakeup, I would imagine. Or at least some parents looking.
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Goodness gracious. Yeah. Because looking back.
And by the way, they basically eliminated each other from contention.
And then to look at the position that y'all are in with your daughter, having made the move that you did and the success that you had, you're like, whoo, boy, we dodged a bullet.
It gets crazy. And I'm just, in my entire life, I just try and avoid drama. Amen. As much of the time as possible.
Amen.
That's drama I don't want. I don't need any part of it. I got 3 girls at home and a female dog. Okay, I don't need any more drama.
Dude, you're like my father-in-law.
No drama,
dude. Have I ever told you about the living? Right before we get to the crazy, because I'm unsure as to what's coming my way with this stuff's about to get weird. My poor father-in-law. He had 4 daughters, a wife, and a mother-in-law, all in one house with one bathroom.
It's too much,
dude. I don't know how he made it. I would have driven myself crazy. I would have checked myself into the crazy house. Be like, y'all got an extra room? I'll take it. You know what I mean? But
I'm having a breakdown here.
That's right. I'm trying to get ahead of this. Let me in. Let me in. Like some people try to get, they don't want to go to the crazy house.
A straight jacket,
please.
Can you fit me for that?
About a medium. I want it to wrap my arms around me so I can get a good nap. Just for a little while. That's what it sounds like. Because you have a little bit of that with
man when they're going at it.
And a dog.
When they're going at it, It's that want to get away moment.
Yeah.
Like, where's the nearest flight?
Yeah. Want to get away?
Want to get away? Yeah.
What was that? Was it Southwest?
Southwest Airlines.
So good.
Want to get away? Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, right over here.
As a matter of fact, yes, I absolutely do.
I'll come back after this argument's over.
Oh, right. So you shared something with me on social media over the weekend, and you were kind of hit and miss because you were focused on the girls and focused on volleyball and winning a bid to nationals. But you did shoot me a note about something that Angel Face said.
We have 46 military videos that now Congress wants from the Department of War. 46 videos that exist that look like non-human aircraft. Now, they're not telling you that they are from outer space. They're not telling you they're from underwater. They're not telling you they're demons. They're just saying there's 46 of these videos. We don't know what the hell this is, and it ain't ours. And so that's what we're now in this debate about whether or not we're going to get to see this stuff. And I'm so hopeful that's what happens.
I don't know how to. Maybe it's because I'm simple-minded. I have a hard time wrapping my head around what that means, non-human aircraft. What do you think that means? Because I really don't even have a good guess. Like, does that look like a big old spaceship? I mean, what does that mean to you?
You want to hear the quote in the story?
Yes, I would love to.
You're going to see some weird effing S.
Right.
That's what the source told the New York Post.
Right, but what exactly?
The wildest clips include radar footage from thermal sensors, satellite images, and underwater photos of swarms of unidentified submerged objects, the insider said. Said, let's see, some of the clips are clear, full color, setting them apart from previously released footage. None show alien creatures.
Tim Burchett, if you remember at the end of last week, he had said, I've seen some, of this stuff, and you wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I'm just fine with not knowing. Call me the guy that's going on the other direction on this. If it's going to make me so nervous that I don't want to sleep at night, if it's going to set the world on fire, as he said, if it is weird effing S, as she said, I just rather not know. I'm fine being dumb.
Anna Paulina Luna, in her letter to Pete Hegseth, says the Department of War is expected to hand over the clips by April 14th.
Is anybody with me on this? Or am I on an island by myself?
I feel like if it was crazy and it's going to get released, and they would, if it is aliens, they would have already contacted us. It's just going to be something.
What do you mean contacted? Like pick up the cell phone?
Yeah.
And dial you up. Hey, Bryce, I'm an alien. I was coming to visit you like that? Come on, man.
But
come on, man. What are you talking about?
Tug's waving him off like, no.
What?
No.
He's picking up a cell phone and letting you know that he's here? Come on. No, I don't know if I believe that either. That almost sounds further out there than the...
I'm just saying, I don't think it'd be anything all that great. I mean, we've only explored, 5% of the ocean? It wouldn't surprise me if there's something else out there.
Tug, there's a better chance that they've been here well before us for a long time.
And we haven't known till now. What's the harm in not knowing? What's the harm in let's just pretend like it didn't happen?
You're not curious?
Anna Paulina Luna wants to get to the bottom of this.
I don't
Angel Face is like, I want to know.
I don't want to know nothing.
Tug just wants to go about his business.
That's right.
Here's your next country call out.
Thank you, Harvey. Let's talk about Harvey some more instead of whatever this is. Because Harvey, I can relate to. Whatever this is, I cannot. You know what I mean?
I don't know what road to send you down.
Ignorance is bliss. Isn't that I've heard that before. Have y'all not heard that before? I'm just fine. I'm blissful right now. Just happy as I can be.
Joking around.
Hanging out with my buddy Los. I love Bryce. There's Hunter Harvey, one of our sales guys. Everybody's fine.
There was a friend of ours, and we were joking around about this over the weekend. And I actually brought you up. I was like,
he loves being dumb.
No, I sent the message on X.
Yeah.
I'm like, check this out, Tug.
Yeah.
And my friend of mine I'm joking around with about this stuff. I go, well, I have to be really careful what I share with him next because, I think he's paying attention a little bit, but I could push him over the edge.
Quickly. Really quickly. And yes, that's the case. That you absolutely
It can't be too much.
Dude, I will lock down.
That's right.
I will go home and just sit on the front porch with a shotgun.
Tug's doing the show from home the next couple
That's right.
days.
Rocking back and forth.
Like a good Navy man, he will batten down the hatches and nothing's getting in after that.
Dude, you ain't wrong. You are not wrong. I'll have the old 38 special. I'll have the 9mm. I'll have the shotgun, the rifle propped up. I mean, my neighbors will be like, he's gone crazy. It's official. I knew he was crazy. He's got that American flag on his front porch. He's crazy. And now he's showing it. Look at that. He's got an arsenal out there.
Tug, you may just be a container for them, and that's fine.
What's that mean? I don't know what that means, a container. I don't know. Why? I can hear Bryce laughing through the wall. I don't know what any of that means, and I'm afraid to ask. Ignorance is bliss. I'm just fine with being dumb. Don't tell me. I'm not going to look it up either. I'm just fine being dumb.
Just a container.
I don't know what that means.
Container Tug.
I do not know what that means. And if you do, don't tell me. If you know what it means, don't tell me across the social media platforms. Do not call me.
At Tug Coward. Do not send him anything.
I don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss, and I'm happy.
Break it down on the Charleston show.
A dumb hillbilly. Yes, let me tell you. I'm afraid to, because they won't listen to me. They'll be like, what are you talking about?
Somebody called me a container.
And I don't know what it means, and I hope you don't either. Here's the new Kenny Chesney song. For Lois and Bryce, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Xtra 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you the legend Neil Boortz, a live and local news talk show on your ride in, and the Kimmer Show every afternoon. Be here at 3 for the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, only on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
The best time to shop for a new car is when selection is strong and the offer is clear. Right now at Marietta Toyota, the new 2026 Toyota Camry is all hybrid and in stock. It's built for commuters with exceptional fuel efficiency, up to 53 miles per gallon in the city. Voted Best of Cop, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Dealership Service Center. Here's the difference you don't get everywhere. Every new Toyota comes with our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, unlimited time, and unlimited mileage for as long as you own your Toyota. For well-qualified buyers, special APR financing is available on the new 2026 Camry, 4.99% APR for 72 months. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 72 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Offer ends May 4th, 2026. Lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new Toyota purchase. See dealer for details.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm